The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Stutter! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Herbie, we're live.
We're live. Welcome, beautiful people. We're here at the Thunderdome on this Tuesday, August 26th. Football! Cannot wait to be here, boys.
That was funny.
Hell yeah, Herbie.
Peter's here.
Yes.
I feel a little bit outmanned because I don't have D-Bud here.
Sure.
So this is going to be fun. Couple hours to be able to break down some college football. We're going to talk NFL football. We've got some great guests lined up today. Al Michaels will be hopping on here shortly. We'll be able to talk.
He's got a golf ball. I just don't want him to choke.
Yeah, swallow anything he's not supposed to.
Yeah, I'm real worried about just sitting up here watching Peter think he's going to die choking on his golf ball the whole entire show, but that's okay.
You know what? He kind of does whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What? And by the way, this is awesome. I mean, he's got a whole play area here in the Thunderdome to be able to just chase.
Well, we actually, funny enough, we work here, so usually dogs don't just run around and make it all messy, but hey, it's Peter's world.
The good news is he's not going to drop a deuce, so you don't have to worry about that.
There you go.
He's a little bit perplexed on what's happening here with the camera, but we got Al Michaels on today. We're going to have Ryan Day on to kind of preview the big game with Ohio State and Texas. Second hour, we got to have Adam Schefter on.
Sure.
Shefty, huge day today in the NFL, cut down Tuesday, so we'll find out more about the latest names. It's been trickling in, but maybe between now and then there'll be more names. And then Joey Galloway will come on as our last guest at around 1:40. So,
Okay.
How you guys doing? Good?
Doing great.
I watch you all the time. You guys ready for football to get started?
Yeah. I think with it being only like 70, 75 degrees outside right now and like being, 50s early morning when you wake up, it feels like football season.
It does.
It's nice. It feels like we've been waiting forever, but I think everyone's just rearing to go. We're rearing to go.
Yeah, juiced up. I mean, even just the games this past weekend, week 0, you tasted like at 11:55, we're sitting at a bar waiting for the game to kick off. It's one of those feelings you don't really get that often. It is incredible. I mean, it's incredible to be here with you, Kurt.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you being on the same stage as you. This is incredible. And are you a big sports talk guy? Is this your first time?
I did it. No.
Is this the first one for you?
It's like an AJ question.
It is.
I know the room here. I did it for 20 years in Columbus, Ohio. When I got out of Ohio State, it was my first job. I did local radio for 1993 to 2011, around there.
Damn,
every day,
just radio.
3 hours a day, just radio. I had guests like I'm doing right now. I told you Joey Galloway would come on with me.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel would come on with me. Eddie George would come on with me. So I was lucky to have some guys hop on. But yeah, I enjoy this. I think it's fun. You can kind of steer it where you want. You guys don't take calls. We used to take calls.
Sure.
But I want to hear from Tone as well. Tone, I know you're a huge Pirates and baseball guy, but you're ready for football to get started.
Yeah, I mean, as you were just talking about how you did it for 20 years, so you know it just like we know it. The NHL is great. Baseball is great. NBA, the finals, everything with the Pacers here.
You get to June, July, and it's
great. But I mean, you know how much easier the show is when it's football season. Just because there's, not that you don't care about the other sports, but this is red, white, and blue USA. This is a football country. Okay.
Yeah.
So football, NFL, college football, it's just so much better when we get to this.
Did you guys envision this? Like, is this what you guys, when Pat had this thing going, is this kind of what you guys envisioned, doing this every day and talking sports and it getting to become this big of a thing?
Oh, I mean, I was smoking cigarettes when I started working here, brother. So no, I wasn't really thinking about it too much. I definitely did not think that freaking Dr. Pepper would sponsor the program. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever. But no, I had no idea.
Yeah. being on the same stage as you. I mean, there's been so many different forms of the show, like since we started. You know, I mean, like we did radio for a little bit and everything, but yeah, to think it was going to be here, and then I mean, you know, once the season starts, like we were on the sidelines of the national championship, like watching that game, calling it for work. So I don't think speaking for myself, I don't think any of us could have imagined it would get to this point.
We always did the show, but it wasn't always a daily show. Like we started with the podcast, and that was like 3 times a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we went to radio, and it became every day, and it just it feels better as like an everyday, because then like everyone watching keeps up with all the storylines that we're always talking about, and then also, you know, like the reason why our show is great is like the fans are also invested, I think, like in our personal lives as well. So it's like
they get to know you. They get to know that part of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're invested in not just the show and
correct
the Trey Hendrickson kind of stories, but like what's going on with your lives. But let's flip it to that.
Yeah.
I know this story broke out, I believe, after you guys were off the air.
Yeah.
You haven't had a chance to really react. I kind of grew up as a Bengals fan. I'm kind of impartial now. Doing my job, it's interesting. 30th year, I get a chance to get to know these guys as college players.
30th year.
Yeah, wow.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Good for you. Sorry.
It's all right. And I end up kind of pulling for guys, you know, and stories as opposed to, you know, crying if the Bengals lost. But Trey Hendrickson finally getting signed. And it's interesting, when Burrow signed and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, everybody thought, is there any money left for guys like Hendrickson? And the way this thing went on and on and on, we wondered if it would ever, finally, would they be able to get to an agreement? Your reaction to this is a defense that struggled mightily last year. Does this give Joe Burrow and the Bengals some hope to get him back?
Definitely hope, I would say. I mean, Trey Hendrickson's unbelievable. This whole thing started at Radio Row when Trey, you know, reached out to Pat and wanted to talk to him about about the entire situation. So it has been going on for quite some time. Rapshi kind of alluded to it yesterday, that the offer that, you know, Trey had turned down initially was a massive pay bump for this year, but no future money, which is exactly what he was looking for, which is, you know, when he came on the program. And the biggest thing, I think, for all of us when he came on the program was how much how much he loved Cincinnati, the city. Like, he even said, hey, look, if the best thing for the Bengals is to trade me, I hope they get stuff back that they can then go use to help them win a Super Bowl. Like, he wants Cincy to win a Super Bowl, so that's very clear. Yeah. I'm just bummed out for him because he didn't get what he got, or get what he wanted to get, you know, or what I think he deserves, what I think everybody believes he deserves. So that's the only bummer for me.
I assume the Bengals are happy because it's kind of, you know, just like reading the tea leaves, they weren't exactly looking to give him a 3-year deal or whatever with 2 years guaranteed. So they got on their side the 1 year for $30 million, which it's also good for Trey. I mean, he does get a $14 million pay bump for this year, but he's also now controlled kind of by the team through next year because he doesn't have a no franchise tag clause. So they can franchise him again this year, and he's playing on another 1-year deal, which I know because, I mean, talking to Pat and D about it, AJ, and we just talk about players all the time. They want that, like the certainty of having a paycheck for 3 or 4 years or whatever. Now he's got the certainty of it this year, but if something happens this year, you know, if he has an injury, like was terrible for him, then that screws him. But, you know, I mean, he got the $14 million pay bump. He's making $30 million this year, but I assume as a Bengals team that has control of him now for 2 years I mean, he's making $10 million less than Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. I think they probably feel good. What do you think?
I want to, Ty, let me ask you this, because the Bengals defense last year, Joe Burrow could have been the MVP. The Bengals could have gone, obviously, to the postseason. Slow start, again, hurt them last year. They're trying to avoid that happening this year. They fired their defensive coordinator. They bring in Al Golden from Notre Dame. He's an outstanding defensive mind. They could not have looked any worse, even though it's preseason football. They've been a sieve for 3 preseason games coming off the year they had last year. I think the optics of it, you almost had to make this happen if you're the organization.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, and I asked Rap Sheet yesterday, and I'll ask you the same thing. Like, obviously he makes their defense much better. He's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, but like, them getting him back, does that automatically, do their defensive points per game drop by 2 touchdowns? You know, like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily make as big of an impact as everyone's making it out to be. But like you mentioned, you have Joe Burrow and you just put all that money into the receivers room, like you can't let this be a reason that you don't make the playoffs or that you lose a playoff game because they didn't have any pass rush. So, yeah, I mean, I think their hand was kind of forced. It's just crazy that this whole situation spiraled out of control the way that it did to ultimately, get done this close to the season.
That's a fair question. I mean, he's the best pass rusher in the NFL based on the numbers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That obviously helps. Having the rookie Shamar Stewart be on the other side, Miles Murphy if he's healthy, Joseph Asai. I mean, they've got some bodies now if they can get teams into obvious passing situations. But their issue to me was stopping the run and having safeties that were compatible and worked together. A couple of years ago when they got to the Super Bowl and played against the Rams, their safeties were really, really sound. And the last few years, they've been kind of chasing to try to find a couple guys that were erasers on the back end. And in my opinion, haven't been able to find that. So, obviously Jordan Battle and Geno Stone will be their guys, Iowa Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. But I think just having him, when you get your alpha back in the room, I think that alone, just as far as the spirit of a team that's looking to start fast, that alone I think's got to help.
Oh, and like the morale of, hey, we were losing this guy we all thought for 6 months, and now he is going to be on our team. I bet that's a massive boost too. But like when we're talking about it with the defense, the only thing that we're thinking of is, can they win the Super Bowl or not? And if you go back and look at the last 5 Super Bowl champions, like they had great defenses, or they at least had multiple guys. Like one guy, it's hard to think of one guy as who doesn't play quarterback. That's a 14-point swing. Like that, it's very difficult. And there are T.J. Watt stats with the Steelers where without T.J. Watt they're nothing. So there is part of it where you could think Trey is going to flip it for him, but when you just measure them up against those other Super Bowl teams, it's hard to take them over them because of the defense.
Also, the immeasurable. We've talked about it a couple times on the show. Sam Hubbard retiring, and he was one of the leaders, if not the leader, on that defense. So now, if you didn't have him or Trey, then you have to expect someone to step up and be a leader of this young defense, or defense that definitely needs to improve.
I think Logan Wilson he's put enough time in now. He's in the middle of the defense. He's a green dot. I mean, he comes across to me. Real quick, because I know we're going to have Al joining us here in a few minutes. What's the soap opera down in Dallas? What's your guys' take on Micah Parsons? What do you see happening? Look into your crystal ball. Where is Dallas going in 2025? Is Micah Parsons going to be happy? He looks disgruntled, laying around, clearly not engaged at all. What are your thoughts on how this thing ends?
I mean, after watching the Jerry Jones Dallas documentary that came out, I'm assuming Micah probably doesn't play like the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then he gets the deal that he wants just because of how good he is. But that's the thing. We were talking about it too. Like, people who know the Cowboys and cover them a lot feel pretty optimistic about this year. It feels as though they feel very good about, the Cowboys and Schottenheimer and what they're going to look like. So if that's the case and they start off 3-0, it'll be interesting to see what, if Jerry feels pressure too. But no matter what, their pass rush is going to be the same. Their defense isn't going to be the same. And it feels like in the end, Jerry will just, give him 45 a year and he'll be a Dallas Cowboy.
Why go through all this?
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. I mean, because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of what it, takes with the Cowboys. At least Jerry said, the other day about the whole soap opera thing and how, like, if you're, I forget, I think it was Damian Woody who came on the show and said, hey, if you are a player or a coach and you hear this, then you immediately think, like, okay, football's not the most important because the other side of it is just the buzz around him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of buzz. You see Parsons signing and being happy. Like, is he going to become a happy Cowboys?
I mean, I think if he gets the highest, if he becomes the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL, I think you're probably going to be happy, with that regardless.
If he doesn't get that, then he's not signing.
Yeah,
right?
Probably not. No. I don't think so. I mean, Jerry's already made comments about, like, hey, we made an offer to make him the highest paid player. He's obviously in his prime right now. His agent is one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. Like, he's not going to let, so there's just, we'll see. I mean, like Connor said, I think the Cowboys have Super Bowl aspirations this year, and it's kind of got covered up by Shoddy being a first-year head coach. But you look at their roster, I think they believe they can compete, and I don't think you can't win a Super Bowl if you don't have Micah Parsons. And
right.
Jerry knows that.
I think that all of us, like, this whole time, we don't know how it got to this point, because I mean, normally a guy like him, everyone else in his draft class none of them had to get to their 5th year on their rookie contract. They all got the extension before they got to their 5th year. And like none of us, we don't have agents. So I want to ask you, obviously have an agent. Like, handshake deals don't really exist in this era when you're dealing with this type of money, right? Can you believe that Jerry even thought he was going to get this deal done without an agent being involved?
I can't imagine that. And I can't imagine any player thinking that, hey, you and I just talking, a couple guys talking. Like, I would never feel comfortable with that. And if somebody tried to approach me to do that, I would just steer them to guy that needs to be the guy that's kind of handling that kind of business. But hey, we got a lot to talk about. We got I don't even know how you intro this guy, right? I mean, this is the most recognizable voice to me in my lifetime. He's called more big events than anybody. It's an absolute honor for me to be his partner on Thursday nights on Amazon Prime. Let's welcome in Mr. Al Michaels.
Yeah!
Sir, yes, sir.
All I can say is, dude, this is your one day off over the next 6 months. And this is how you spend it? You are an animal. And I don't mean a golden retriever. You're an animal.
Hey, a friend asked for some help, and I just hopped in. That's all there is to it. How you doing, man? I got a chance to see you in New York. You want to talk a little bit about your off season? I know what you do, but what do you like to do when you're not calling football games and you are hanging out with your wife Linda and your family? What do you do to kill time?
Little traveling, love to read, and I've watched, I think, every football documentary. There are now like 9,000 of them out there getting ready for the season. But it's funny. I mean, the off season just goes faster and faster these days. And I mean, to me, it feels like May. How did we get to the end of August? So here we are, but it's exciting. It's an exciting time. We've got a good schedule, as you know, and away we go 2 weeks from Thursday.
And you're now a scratch golfer, right?
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, they scratched me from the roster at the Bel Air Country Club. I am. You know what? They call it a reversion to the mean in analytics when things go bad, but the next year they go good. No. My graph in golf is straight down, baby.
But you're a blast. But people that play with you, they see you over at the club. They're like, "Al, you're in. Let's go."
Couple cocktails on the course?
Yeah, it's fun. No. We're very sober. But I mean, look, the great thing about golf is camaraderie. People in football, obviously in football, you know better than anybody. You talk about the camaraderie in the locker room, and that's what you take with you. Same thing in golf. You go out there, let's have a bunch of laughs.
Al, I think the bonus that I have with calling games with you on Amazon Prime is the downtime. Whether it's a dinner on Wednesday night or whether it's just hanging out, you telling stories of the 1980 Olympics, or you telling a story about your perspective of a Super Bowl you called or a World Series. Looking back at all these amazing events, I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, which one stands out to you and for what reason when you've called that many exciting moments?
Well, nothing will ever top 1980 because it meant so much to the country. And, some people, I'm sure, are probably tired of hearing about it. It's 45 years ago, when the U.S. defeated the Soviets and still had to beat Finland in the Olympics in Lake Placid. But the world was in such a strange place at that time where, as a country, we didn't feel very good about ourselves. We had hostages being held in Iran. The crime rate was almost 20%. People were upset about a lot of things at that point. And all of a sudden, we had no chance to win the game against the Soviets, and we did. And then won the gold medal. So because of what that meant to the United States, nothing can ever top that. I mean, I've done Super Bowls that have gone down to the end that have been phenomenal, World Series games that have been great, playoff baseball games that have been terrific. But how can you beat that when it meant so much to the country? And it wasn't really about hockey for most people. It was us against them at a particular point in the Cold War. So nothing will ever top that for me.
Yeah. And was the movie close to being accurate?
The movie was very close. I mean, obviously all movies take some literary license, but I think the director, Gavin O'Connor, did a tremendous job. He stayed as true as he could to the story. And when you look at, Herb Brooks was the coach, and the way he was portrayed in that movie was phenomenal, unbelievable. I mean, Kurt Russell as Herb Brooks was as close to reality as anything I've ever seen in a movie. He studied like crazy. He's been a great friend for years, and I mean, he nailed it. It was perfect.
Yeah, so many great moments, obviously. Connor, I know you had a question.
Yeah, Al, first of all, if anyone ever tells you that they're sick of hearing about the United States,
exactly.
you can tell them to go to hell.
Exactly.
But going forward, of course, anybody hearing that story will be happy. But big storyline this offseason now has been the Jerry Jones debacle. And I saw you in the Cowboys documentary last week. You were phenomenal. I thought there should have been more of you in there just because you lived through the entire thing. But when you look at, the Jerry that that you've watched, grow into the owner that we all know today, what do you think about this situation? Do you see it going the way with Micah as it did with Emmitt Smith, where he waits a couple games and then inevitably signs him to the highest deal ever? Do you think Jerry is going to stand pat? And a lot of people, too, are asking, has Jerry kind of lost it? Do you see it that way as well, that he kind of isn't with the times as much and maybe it's time for Stephen Jones to take over?
Well, I think that's the natural parallel to think back to the Emmitt situation back in 1993 when they started 0-2. They wind up winning the Super Bowl that year. So you can go back to that. Will he sign him? If I had to guess right now, I will say yes. I'm not sure it'll be before opening day. Jerry has not lost it. In fact, I was with him at the outset of the introduction by Netflix at the Egyptian Theater in L.A. a couple of weeks ago. No, Jerry is altogether there. And, that team has, obviously we know that they haven't won a Super Bowl in 3 decades, but they have lost some of the most gut-wrenching games ever along the lines. Regular season games that meant a lot, playoff games that have meant a lot. Stephen Jones he'll be a great successor, but he is already in there. I mean, that is a partnership. It's not as if Stephen can weigh in and Jerry ignores it. That's not the case at all. But I think, you've got to give Jerry his due. I mean, I thought the documentary really caught the essence of the man. And I think the other thing that stood out in the documentary, I'm sure you guys probably think so if you've seen it, the candidness of the interviewees, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Barry Switzer, Jimmy Johnson. Wow. I thought I knew a lot about what happened at that point. I forgot a lot of what had taken place or didn't even know. I thought that part of it was sensational. Those guys really gave of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I love those shows, the documentaries that you learn a little bit. You think like you said, Alan, you get a little bit more. I thought the Cowboys documentary was
good. To Al's point, they show you Jerry Jones watching the Packers-Cowboys playoff game in 2024, where the Cowboys, they go down 21-0 or whatever the hell it is, and just seeing that and actually hearing, what he's saying in the suite and stuff like that was unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else about that too. Is I was a party to what took place when he walked out onto the field with Phil Knight. So that day, nobody knew what was really going to happen. So I'm staying in a hotel across the street in Manhattan, and Jerry calls me at about noon. He says, "Come on over, I got to tell you something," and tells me what he's going to do that night. And he says, "So what do you think?" I said, "Here's what I think. I think there will be an earthquake on Park Avenue at about 9:30 tonight." And that's exactly what took place. So he had the vision to take the NFL, grab it by the neck, and make it so much bigger than it was. They resisted, obviously. They sued him for $300 million. He sued them back for $700 million. But that was a seminal moment in the NFL. So you look at Jerry in 2 parts. As a successful football man, they have won 3 Super Bowls. We know it. They haven't won in 30 years. Got it. As a businessman, as a guy who has now built the greatest franchise in sports right now, the most valuable. That stadium is off the charts. The stadium is almost 16 years old. It's like you can eat off the floor in it. Phenomenal. Yeah. What Jerry does some amazing things, and it would be nice to see him. I know a lot of people don't feel this way, to get one before he's gone.
Yeah, and everything he touches, the facility in Frisco is cutting edge and the best of anybody in the entire NFL. So he always does everything first class. Tell him, what do you have, bud?
Yeah, Al, I feel like you're the best person maybe on earth to ask this question to, because besides Troy and Joe, I assume you've called more Aaron Rodgers primetime games than anyone on this earth. And obviously you've done the Steelers a bunch because they're always in primetime as well. How do you feel about the fit for Aaron going into Pittsburgh this season? Him and Mike Tomlin, who I know you know well, and then just the overall being a 40-plus-year-old quarterback going into this season.
I think a lot depends, obviously, on health. If he stays very healthy, and he is right now, I think he can still wing it. You can see it in the clips you see from their training camp. He's as smart as it gets when it comes to playing that position. I think this is one of the most fascinating stories, as it was when he joined the Jets a couple of years ago too. So here we are again. This is mysteriousness. But I think that, again, it all depends if he's healthy, if he stays healthy. He's got some good pieces to play with. I have the greatest respect for Mike Tomlin. I see good things ahead from him. Again, you can say this about so many players in the National Football League right now, if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, and now you think about 2 NFL MVPs and at the age that he was at, and then he's had obviously some years where he's had to deal with the injuries. So knock on wood, we all want to see him stay healthy. Love to see him get hot for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we do.
And for Tone. All right, what do you have, Ty?
Yeah, Al, the last time we had you on the show, we talked with you about how, there are a couple people on the internet getting pissy with you because you're not, screaming and losing your breath for a first down in the third quarter of a Browns-Dolphins game on Thursday Night Football. But because you have called so many seminal moments in sports history, when this time rolls around every single year, do you get just as excited as you did when you first started? And how do you handle kind of like the critics maybe who at this point, you're a GOAT, you're a legend, and now they're trying to kind of poke holes or, put a couple shots in you when it's like, hey, listen, I've done everything there is to do in this profession.
Who doesn't get criticized? Mm-hmm. What are we talking about here? Everybody. I mean, Mother Teresa would be like a tenth of what she is if she was around during the internet years. Come on. I don't do a game to get a YouTube or an Instagram hit. If you listen to the documentary, and Pat Summerall and John Madden called a lot of those games. Did Pat scream? Did he scream his guts out? And Pat is probably as revered as any play-by-play announcer over the past 40 or 50 years. I knew Pat very well. Wonderful man. Love to hear him and John on the telecast. Does he scream at you? No, he does not.
No.
So in other words, to me, I'm in a visual medium. I don't have to explain or describe everything that your eyes are seeing. In fact, my theory has always been to speak in captions and ellipses. Just bring a little bit to the game and get out of there. It's real simple. You can't scream your guts out. I mean, you can scream your guts out, and people will love it because they want to go on YouTube. But that ain't me, guys. You know that.
Al, I hope you go on as long as you feel like this is your spot. Amazon Prime, that family, you're the straw that mixes that drink with the studio show, with what we do on the game. I mean, if you guys would ever hang out when we're with the other guys, I mean, Al is beloved by the entire group of people behind the scenes, like I said, the studio people. Al, how do you know, we just talked about how you've accomplished everything. How do you know, do I want to come back for another year? Is it just how you feel? Is it the love? You hear coaches get asked that, and they say, if I ever stop enjoying coming to work, I'll know it's time. How do you evaluate when the right time is for you in your career?
Kirk, if you lose the passion, it's time. That's how I feel about it. I'm still, I'm excited. I love walking into a stadium. I love watching the stadium fill up. I love the games. It's exciting. I love live television because it's been, in my DNA for a million years right now. I still get excited about it. I still look forward to it. I think if you treat it as a job or as work or as drudgery, go home. I'm not there. I hope I never get there.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we were driving over to the game the other night. We were adding up, what year is this for you, Al, and just doing national broadcasts? And what year is this in the NFL?
NFL 40 years.
40th year.
And yeah, network television was. I started in in 1976 with ABC. So that's another 10 years on top of that. Do you know who I actually started with at ABC? Bob Iger.
Wow.
Really?
Bob and I go all the way. Bob and I go all the way back to the start of our careers.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
And here how's he doing these days, buddy?
He's doing pretty well.
Not as good as you.
Yeah, you're both doing pretty well. Yeah. Al, thanks so much for hopping on with us today. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you September 11th when we get started up at Lambeau with the Commanders and the Pack.
Kirk, you've got, 11 college football games before I see you again. Be good, man. Dude. Take care, guys.
Take care, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah. Getting out of the gate. That's how we do it, Peter.
He's the
Good
best.
job.
Yeah, he is.
40 years.
40th year in the NFL, and he said he got started in network television in 1976.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, just a man. And I know it's a different era. I know that we were talking at the break. I like Pat Summerall. I like that kind of call. I like Joe Buck. I like Mike Tariq. I love Al. Like, I love when the moment's right, punch it, but not in the first quarter for a touchdown or a 10-yard out. Like, but I think there's a younger generation of play-by-play guys that have realized, hey, one of the ways to really get some momentum is to go crazy, and I'm going to go viral for the call, no matter what sport it is. And for me, again, I'm from a different generation. I like it when it's special. Give it to me. Otherwise, I just call the game.
I agree 100%. And, how old are you now?
I'm 56.
No, you're not.
I swear.
Yeah.
So I'm 20 years younger than you. So I'm obviously, I assume that's a different generation, but Keith Jackson was my favorite.
Oh,
man.
yeah. But again, it was the moment that he would give that to you, and he didn't do it.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
That's a long watch if someone is going crazy every first down, because sometimes too, you'll be on your phone and someone's going apeshit and you look up expecting to see a 65-yard touchdown, and it was like a 6-yard run for a first down. It's okay, what do we do? It's just it feels weird watching. I agree. I mean, you go back and watch some of those Pat Summerall games. I don't know if monotone's the right way of putting it, but it's just it's soothing.
It
almost.
works.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you, my career, I've worked with Mike Tariq. This is how I came up. Mike and I started together, and then I went to ABC, and I went with Brent Musburger, and then Chris Fowler took over for Brent, and now I do Chris and also Amazon Prime on Thursday with Al Michaels. So
You've been with all the legends.
Think of those four guys
that
I've worked with, and when Al calls a game, he's got his the greatest spotter that's probably ever done it with he and Al together for I think 46 years or longer, but there's so much communication between the play-by-play and the analyst, sometimes nonverbal. But I have a spotter, he's got a spotter, the truck's downstairs. There's just a lot of communication that's happening in every booth. Al's 80 years old, and I'm blown away. And I can just tell you right now, he's not lost anything. I mean, I watch him, and things are, play-by-play guy, man, the things are moving fast.
Yeah.
And the producer's in his ear, and you got to go to a break, and he never misses a beat. I mean, I'm not just saying that to say that. I am, just comparing him with other people I've worked with, and there's, zero difference. If anything, it's really more impressive how he handles what he handles. So I appreciate him hopping on. I know we got about 8 minutes until Ryan Day hops on. We talked back there with our big production meeting we had.
Yeah, huge.
We said, hey, we're not going to get a chance because we have a lot of guests on to talk about some of these topics. We've hit the NFL. Obviously, college football gets started on Thursday night. Hawks Thursday or Saturday?
No, I got Saturday night in Kinnick,
which
I do not remember the last time that happened, that they started the season with a night game.
Okay.
It's been forever.
Is that the one you're on?
No, I'm not calling the Iowa game. Who they playing?
Albany. Tough Albany squad this year, yeah. Yep.
You're not doing Iowa?
No, Herbie said he was trying. He was, basically. Wait.
The clock's ticking here. We're going to go through the Power 4 conferences.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to give you our pick, since college football starts Thursday.
Sure.
We'll give you our pick, and we'll give you the sleeper.
Okay.
Let's start with the Big 12. Anybody want to start?
I mean, I think my pick's probably the same as my sleeper. West Virginia, bitch. It's Rich Rod season, baby. I saw GG Garrett Green catching a touchdown pass for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, in the preseason. So yeah, I think the Mountaineers might do it. And
okay, well that's a sleeper and the championship.
Okay.
And
is that because the only other team I can think of is Arizona State, maybe? But I don't want to pick Arizona
It's tough.
State.
Big 12's tough. Tough to keep up with.
Yeah, tough to care about. Bro.
Yeah.
I think sleeper, I'd probably go. I mean, and I don't even know if you'd count them as a sleeper with how much money they've invested in the program. But, you know,
that's fair. Until you see it. Yeah, that's a good one.
Texas
for sure. I like that.
getting a lot of juice right now. And then my pick, I hate to do it, but I'm going to go with the Clones. I like
They look good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a massive win.
It's a Matt Campbell team.
Yeah.
Quarterback that can play smart.
Right.
The defense was flying around.
Boy, he moved well, too.
They looked really good. And the game started a little bit slow. It's the first game all the way over to Dublin.
Crafty vet.
But I thought there were some turnovers early in the game. But overall, as the game went on, I was impressed.
Yeah.
Really, with both teams. But Iowa State got it done at the end with the quarterback play.
And I think, Matt Campbell is the best Iowa State coach in a long time, and I think they've been building to this point for a while. I think it would make sense if they finally get over that hump and win the Big 12 this year.
How about the unis? Do you give the okay on the unis?
I hate them. I like the old Iowa State uniforms, and then they kind of got rid of Cy, like the bird inside the cyclone.
That's why I asked. I mean, you're from up that state.
I don't love them, but I'm a black and gold guy as well.
Yeah, well, that's true.
What are you gonna do?
That's true. Tone, what do you got? Big 12.
I think Arizona State's gonna do it again. I think they're gonna win it. They have 11 of their top 13 tacklers back on defense.
And Levitt and Tyson back on offense.
Bingo. The only real loss they have is Scadaboo.
Yeah.
And they bring in Kanye Udo from Army, who I love as a running back. So I don't think there's gonna be any drop off at Arizona State. For sleepers, because it's the Big 12, I had a couple. I'm gonna go with TCU.
TCU.
I like TCU.
I see him Monday night against Bill Belichick.
Hoover's back. He threw for 4,000 yards last year. So they just 2 years ago they were in the national championship, 3 years ago they were in the national champ. But then they had the 5-7 I think year or whatever it was, and then they kind of water found its level last year. I think TCU maybe comes back. Kansas looked really good.
Kansas State, Iowa State for me before the season started was kind of a coin flip. It's ironic that they ended up opening up with one another. I picked Kansas State to end up winning the Big 12. Now they're a game down behind Iowa State.
It's okay.
Utah is my team that people forget about. They're in the Big 12 because since they've been in, they just haven't been healthy at quarterback.
Geographically makes sense.
I'm going to go with Utah. Let's go SEC because we have 3.5 minutes till Ryan Day hops on here. What do you got in the SEC?
Sleeper, I guess South Carolina, just because there are so many good teams in the SEC and Lenore Sellers, and then pick. I'm gonna go with Bama this year.
Bama, Wow, good for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bama.
You're not hearing a lot of Bama right now, or Georgia,
right? Which is what, and I think Kalen DeBoer is a really good coach. I think last year, obviously, just trying to find your footing. I think they'll win the SEC this year.
Okay, Tone.
I'm actually going with Bama as well to win. I think Texas, Georgia, Bama.
No quarterback concerns at all.
There's definitely the quarterback, but I also think they have the best O-line in the country, potentially with Caden Proctor at that left tackle position, and their defense is so good, and they get Ryan Grubb back. Sleeper is Texas A&M for me.
Okay,
now,
good one.
If they could get the quarterback, if the quarterback position can progress like I think they can,
Marcel Reed,
they have a great offensive line, they have a great running back room, and I think Elko year 2
love Mike Elko
will be good. A&M's my sleeper.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm not going to go Bama. I'm actually going to say South Carolina's going to not be a sleeper.
He watched the SEC doc and loved it.
I love Lenore Sellers, and I'm taking Lenore Sellers from the Heisman, and also I like how
you're all in.
Yeah, I like how we're all agreeing. Just let's not be the ones to pick Texas, even though Texas will probably win it. But I think is this the most deep the SEC has been?
On paper, sure. I mean, it looks like it. What's interesting is a lot of the behemoths are breaking in new quarterbacks. Like Georgia and Alabama. You have a lot of confidence in what they have around the position, but.
LSU, maybe.
Who you taking?
Maybe I'll switch to LSU.
LSU, I think, would be, I guess they're not chalk. It looks like Bama is. I flipped a coin between Texas and LSU, and I'm going Texas.
Who's your sleeper?
Surprise team is Florida. I think DJ Lagway, if he's healthy. I was so impressed with him last year. We've talked about that, how their coach was fired. They started off slow, and then I think they won 4 of their last 5 or 5 of their last 6, and only loss that he had was when he got injured as a starter against Florida or against Georgia. So I'm going to go with Florida. And I like your A&M as a sleeper as well. Big Ten. Before Ryan Day hops on.
I like Ohio State, and then not to be a homer, but the way their schedule sets up, if they can win a couple of those like kind of tough games, I think Iowa could find a way to sneak in this year.
That quarterback.
Yeah, I'm very excited to watch him play. Yeah.
I'm going back to Brad Banks. I don't know if you were born yet.
Oh yeah,
it was the last
Should've
time.
Won the Heisman.
We thought Iowa's not just surviving and going to win with. Used to be Norm Parker, is their defensive coordinator, now Phil. And it was, run the football. But this quarterback, he's a dual guy. Be interesting if they unleash him, or are they going to be conservative and try to win the Iowa way?
Yeah, I hope not. They haven't had a guy with his skill set, like you said, in quite some time. And you need to, that's just putting an awful lot on the defense to ask them to win 17-10, 17-13 every single week.
Yeah, I'll go Penn State, and I'll go sleeper Nebraska. I'm still a Matt Rule guy. I don't know if we're going to keep doing this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's always good in year 3.
We're going to keep doing this every year, but I think this is the year for Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm going to go Penn State. I know they haven't won the big one yet, but they got similar vibes to Michigan and then Ohio State, bringing everyone back to try to win a national championship. And then I was going to go Iowa, but because Ty did, I'm not saying they're going to win the Big Ten, but watch out for Washington this year.
Okay.
Year 2
their quarterback's for real.
Very, very good. I'll go Washington as someone to watch.
Where would Illinois fall into this category? Would they fall in as sleeper even with the preseason hype, or you'd pick them?
We kind of talked about it in L.A. a little bit at the ESPYs. They're getting a lot of heat for, hey, Illinois, maybe should go to the playoffs this year. I don't know about winning the Big Ten, but I think they've been talked about too much to be a sleeper.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Illinois and Miami people, or not those people, rather, I think a lot of the football fans in general have kind of picked those two teams as like possible Florida State teams this year, versus going the other way.
Okay,
but I saw Greg McElroy doesn't even have South Carolina's top 25. So
right, and he has Nick Saban back coaching. So who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, bingo.
All right, let's bring in the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, the defending national champs, Coach Ryan Day. Coach, how are you, bud?
Great one.
Good to see you, man. You and I have talked a little bit, but I would love to ask you just an off-season as a defending national champ. Is it business as usual once you got done with the circuit? You just kind of get back to winter conditioning and recruiting. What was this like for you after you guys climbed the top of that mountain?
It was really like every other off season. The only difference was I get to do a lot of cool things. Got a chance to see some great people and do some really, really cool stuff. But it was really just every other offseason, maybe a little faster because of how late we ended the season. But, spring practice came fast and the new challenges came, and, guys in a building wanted to move on, just like the coaching staff. And that was it, and I like to say once the confetti hit the ground, it was on to the next season, and that's it. And so this is exciting, for us with a whole new group of guys, whole new journey, and our guys hold the pen to see what this story's like because, last year's story's been written, and here we go. We got a whole new start.
What in your mind when you go through a season like last year, and they could make a movie out of last season? What are you able to take away? Because you're always learning and growing, right, as a coach. What can you take away from that to bring in to 2025 that you learned through some obvious ups and a few downs?
Well, with the new playoff system, we know it's going to be a long season. So, we have to make sure that it's not, I've heard people say this before, and I agree with it. It's not a marathon. It's 12 sprints, and you have to make sure that you're there every single week getting better. You identify what the problems are, then you grow from there. And, things are going well, we can't overreact. If something goes bad, we can't overreact. We got to identify what the issues are, get them fixed, and then move forward with them. And then grow as the season goes on. And I think that's probably the most important thing. And then the older guys have to take accountability. I think when you have great teams, the leaders and the older guys are the ones that run the show.
Before you got there, Ohio State had a hard time consistently recruiting high-level receivers and high-level quarterback play. And since you've been there, it's pretty much been just rolling. When you get a new situation at quarterback and you don't have a veteran coming back and you don't have preseason football like the NFL and even high school has, how do you figure out when you have a couple guys going at it who the guy is? How does that guy win the team over when he hasn't been out there in front of 100,000 on national TV? That's got to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, it is. But these guys are with each other every day, whether it's in the weight room or on the field, in meetings, outside the Woody. And so they know. And the good thing is, I feel good that we have a couple quarterbacks that we can win with. But I do feel like Julian pulled away down the stretch here, just with his overall performance. He's very, very consistent. But Lincoln's working hard. He knows he's one snap away, or who knows, even could play in this game. So, you just try to go off of your experience and what you've seen. You try to put them in game situations. You try to challenge them. You try to make it as hard as you possibly can so that the game's easier. And that's like training any athlete, but certainly a quarterback. It's important. But you got to go back on what you know as a coach and, the guys that you've seen in the same spot and make sure that you're preparing in the right way.
Awesome. Tom?
Yeah, Coach, going back to beginning of last season, you guys had guys like JTT and Jack Sawyer and Emeka Egbuka and Will Howard who came in and Tyleik Williams who came back. There was a lot of guys that could have went to the NFL who decided to come back. And then obviously after you win the national championship, 14 guys are drafted to the NFL. And you talk about, your old guys have to become leaders and stuff like that. How different is it this season going into it with all those guys being gone? And who are the new guys, the older guys that are going to step up for you this year in a leadership role?
Yeah, well, when you think about when a bunch of guys decide to come back, it's a great thing, for a lot of reasons, for their team, for their brothers, for the school, all those things. The tricky thing is when that year's over, you almost have 2 years of guys that now are out the door and you got big holes to fill. But we knew that, and there's a lot of guys that are coming back. Davison Igbinosun, you got Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Austin Saravell, Brandon Ennis, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. The majority of our tight ends are back, and I think when you look at those guys in their leadership last year, now they're taking the next step. I think you're seeing it off the field, but for some of them, they just need to get on the field and have production, the guys that haven't played a lot. Because once you do it on the field, you just have a certain, confidence about you when you walk in the locker room. And so, this is going to be a group that hasn't played a lot who's coming out and playing on Saturday. But we know what we see in practice. They're fired up to start this journey. And the more they play, the more confidence they'll have and the more they'll feel confident leading.
Ty?
Coach, going back to last year, it was really cool as we got to follow along through the entire playoff run. But I want to go back to that first playoff or the first round game against Tennessee. I'm just curious, was there any kind of like major advantage that you guys had having that game at home in the cold? Because we were there, and I don't know what the actual temperature was. It felt like it was 50 below. Like how much was an advantage playing that game at home against one of those teams from the South that maybe isn't built the same as you guys who have to deal with the cold on a regular basis?
Yeah, I think when you looked at the way that the playoff system was put into place, I think everyone said to themselves, so what's it going to be like in December if you have to play in the horseshoe? And that's exactly what it was like. I mean, it was cold. It was football though in the Big Ten. And so, great memories of that, but that was the first time that there's ever been a playoff game like that, in Ohio. And so that was unique. But I think the thing for us is, at that moment, our backs were against the wall. Our players, our coaches, our fans, and we came out swinging in that game. And so, we have to be the same way here. Just because, we were in that situation last year shouldn't affect how we play. And so we need to have that same mentality when we walk out of the tunnel here on Saturday.
Coach, sorry about that. Thank you very much, Kirk. Coach, great to hear you had a wonderful offseason. That's awesome. Saw you on a bunch of shows. We were very, very bummed out that you weren't able to come on our program after you won the national championship. But, everybody and their mother was asking to talk to Ryan Day, so you can understand it. Looking back at last year, Coach, The Oregon game, the first time you played in Oregon, obviously what happens, Will, slides, the clock runs out, everything, goes that way. It came down to the wire. But then when you look at the Rose Bowl, you guys beat the brakes off of Oregon. So when you're looking at those two games, what changed, do you think, between, the first game and the second game? You mentioned confidence. Obviously, one of the games was, later in the season. But for you, what do you think changed the most for your team between the first time you played Oregon and the second time?
Well, I think the first thing is Oregon's got a very good team. I think Dan does a great job, and playing in Autzen Stadium is no joke. It's a difficult place to play. We jumped out to an early lead, but then turned the ball over in the red zone, and then had an onside kick. The coaches are responsible for that. We got to better prepare the players, and so they got the ball in plus territory there. And then when we lost Simmons in that game, that certainly set us back as well. And then, didn't finish the game the way we wanted to. So there was a lot of factors that played into that. And that was the first time that we had traveled, all the way to the West Coast to play a game since I'd been here for a regular season game. So there was a lot of things there that we need to identify that we need to get better at. We're going to Washington this year. We have to be able to handle that better, handle the environment better. But on the field, we felt like we had made a lot of adjustments. We had made a lot of changes in all three phases to make sure that, again, like we're talking about, that we're growing, that we're getting better, that we're adapting, and that, we're, kind of as time goes on, we're re-engineering ourselves. It can't just be the same thing. I say this all the time, like the Apple 1.0 phone doesn't work anymore. Every week you have to upgrade. And so I felt like we did do that, and that'll be important this season.
So Jeremiah Smith, physically, I don't know. Maybe you've seen people that look like that as a true freshman. Adrian Peterson, in 30 years of doing it, Adrian Peterson and Jeremiah Smith are the only true freshmen I've seen that are built and able to do what they were able to do physically. Where does he go from here? Like, it is off season. I can't imagine him getting stronger with Mick, and getting quicker and getting more mature. What have you seen in camp from number 4?
Well, yeah, like my wife Nina says, she says, I don't remember anybody walking around our high school hallways looking like Jeremiah Smith.
No.
Said, no, it's because they weren't.
No, they weren't.
They don't exist. I think with Jeremiah, to your point, he early in the season was certainly very, very talented, but you saw him really take off in the second half of the year. I think there's just a certain level of confidence now going into this season, and he wants to win games. He knows what's going to happen. Teams are going to try to take him out in terms of coverage and different things. They're going to know where he is, but he loves to win. I think that's, he's a underspoken person. Like he doesn't, he's out in front of things. He's not trying to get out, in the media and say certain things, but he loves to win and he loves to compete. And so, when you lose a game, he's not himself for a while. He loves to win, and I think, he sees himself as winning back-to-back national championships. He has things he wants to get done here at Ohio State. Certainly everybody wants to talk about, where he's going to go next in the NFL, and he'll have a great career there. But he wants to leave a legacy behind. And, the way he works on a day-to-day basis is a great example to all of our players.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous role model just in how he handles himself, but the way he works every single day.
And we all know when the best players are your hardest workers, which you guys have had a lot of that, man, it just trickles down and really lets the team manage the personality as much as you try to stand up there and talk. When you got guys like that and Caleb Downs, that's a great place to start, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you're a great offensive mind. And you were dealing with the new offensive coordinator last year in Chip Kelly, and then again this year in Brian Hartline, even though he has been there for a long time. But on the defensive side of the ball, Jim Knowles was with you for the last few years, and now you bring in Matt Patricia. How's it been with Matt Patricia, and have you had to teach him at all about the college football game and how offenses potentially run different than what he was used to in the NFL?
Yeah, Matt, if they're spending time with Matt, how inquisitive he is. He's got a great personality. He's already built great relationships here in the building with recruits, with the players, and he's really, embraced, the entire program, our culture. And he walked into a room with a bunch of guys that have already, been coaches here for a long time at Ohio State, and that's not easy to do. And he did that, and he's doing that. But he's very intelligent, but also inquisitive, and so he constantly is asking questions about the hash marks, how time gets handled at the end of the game in terms of first downs. That's different than the NFL. There are some differences for sure. And, he understands it. He's watched it. He's very, very intelligent. Again, like I said, it has a great background of doing multiple things. So I'm excited to see where this defense goes. They're playing run around with a bunch of confidence right now. And, I'm glad we have him because this is somebody that I've known for a while. But to see him work on a day-to-day basis has been impressive.
How will you and Hartline handle the play calling? Is it all him, or you? That's a hard thing for you to let go of. I know. How do you envision that Saturday?
So we spent a lot of time on the game plan, and I've said before, like if it goes up on the list and it's a first down call, like all right, if we stamp it, then we all have to feel good that was the call, and the more organization that we have on the game plan, the better we've prepared ourselves and the players, the easier game, the game planning goes. And then obviously how, calling the game will go. So they're all good plays. And when they're working, that's what really matters is making sure that guys are prepared and the guys can execute the plays. That's the most important thing. But I'll be right there. I'm right a part of it. He's got a great staff to work with. Tyler Bowen's been excellent to work with. Keenan Bailey, Billy Fessler, Carlos Lachlan, we got a great group of guys. So everybody's working together to put the best plan together, but ultimately it comes down to execution.
We have like 45 seconds. We haven't even asked you, what comes to mind with this breakdown of Texas? You played them late last year. Some new pieces, obviously, in some key areas. Anything stand out in your mind of the keys to this game?
But yeah, they're fast. They run around and tackle really well on defense. I feel like both Sark and Pete do a great job in terms of what they run schematically. They're going to put pressure on you, with the ball in their hand. Sark does a great job in getting the ball out in space, shooting the ball down the field, and now you got a quarterback that can hurt you with his legs as well. So great team speed, a lot of talent. Be probably one of the most talented teams we play all season. So. We know what it's like because we played them last year. A little bit, a few different guys, but a lot of the same faces as well.
Well, we applaud you for playing this kind of game. In the non-conference, there's some people that go a different route. We as college football fans, most importantly your players, they want to play in these kind of games. They look forward to them for months. So we'll see you this weekend in Columbus. Thanks a lot for hopping on with us, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Go Bucks.
All right. See you, man.
Go.
All right.
Go Bucks.
You got, again, nothing against Iowa because Iowa plays Iowa State every year. They've always played people, but it's interesting. That's a big topic, what direction you go in the non-conference because Indiana, as an example, last year, sometimes it's just we got to 11 wins, we should be in. Not necessarily who you played.
Well, and the way it's changed, they're taking – if they lose that game, it's not the end of the year because it's not a conference game. You can still get a great seed in the playoffs, but they have every right to schedule Albany as opposed to Texas. But and this was the whole conversation when conference realignment started. We were the rivalry game, sure, but we were worried these were the kind of games that were going to start being absent from week 1, week 2, and stuff like that. So very commendable to both programs for agreeing hey, let's play week 1.
We got Florida State, Alabama. You got Notre Dame, Miami. You got LSU and Clemson. I mean, there's some really, really intriguing, important week 1 matchups.
Start to finish.
Does he say take 5 at this hour or at the end of the show? Take 3?
Yeah. Take
3.
Yeah, because it's only 3 minutes.
Well, we've had that first hour, by the way, for me, just flew by. We appreciate Al Michaels, Ryan Day hopping on. Next hour, we have Adam Schefter. It's cut down Tuesday in the NFL, so we'll talk with him. And my buddy Joey Galloway also at 1:40 will hop on. So we are out. We'll be back in 3.
The college football playoff is obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 smoke bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shot, but you're never gonna win. And 10 for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster. Jeremiah Smith. First touch is a touchdown. Time. Shot down the middle. Puka. Ooh, touchdown. See these
play safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his read, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot, and what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Handoff, run to the left. Jordan James. Ram. Will Howard, time. Oh, no. Jeremiah Smith's wide ass open. And that's a touchdown. Ohio State is kicking the living shite out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown! They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Now there's a low snap. Throws left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field, so that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been absolutely shite. Step it. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see it at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. No. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Gee. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish.
Look at this. For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite. Woo!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. Why? Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Okay, I got it. Take two. Welcome to their friendly abode here at the Thunderdome in Indianapolis. I'm Kirk Herbstreit as a guest host for my man Pat McAfee. We're here to talk football. Almost got it. Almost got it.
It was damn near close.
Yeah, that was great.
This is hour two. First hour flew by. Really having a lot of fun here. We also have not just Connor and Ty and Tone, but AJ Hawk, another Buckeye. I know he has a huge intro. National champ, NFL, all-time leading tackler, Mr. AJ Hawk.
Atta baby Hogger!
How are you,
Kirk,
buddy?
you and Peter look great up there, Kirk. Is Peter all right? I saw him choking on a golf ball.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
There he is. Look,
He already
chilling.
shit it out.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Hawk, I was pretty nervous about this just because earlier Herbie did not want to, kind of stare you down face to face because he said he's still having PTSD from when you knocked him out.
Oh, he killed me. He killed me. I mean, it is what it is.
Thunderbolt alumni game, Kirk. Unfortunately, after that one, they never did it again.
Was that your move? Were you a big?
No, I gave him that, and it just...
He did bite.
I was like, I'll be...
How old were you when you were playing
I can't
that?
even remember. Early 30s.
Early 30s? And he was 16.
He was 15 or 16.
Yeah, I couldn't drive yet. Yeah, I rode with my brother.
Meanwhile, his head...
Yeah,
some
look
guys'
at it.
heads are just heavy.
That size.
Well, you're trying to run the triple option at 30 years old.
Yeah.
You might have been a little bit rusty, Kirk. You might have.
I'm still running Ron Ulrich's offense, just trying to run pitch it. But AJ knocked me out.
gross.
Tell you what, the clip of you.
Yeah, that's about right there.
The clip of you in that 70-yard touchdown run.
How about the shoulder pads, by the way?
I know. That's what they were.
I know.
These
It was weighed more than me right there.
Yeah, but you didn't have any of your wristbands on, any of that cool stuff that you always wore.
Not for picture day. No, that was just game day. Just picture day. Because we probably had 3 practices after these pictures, so we were, sitting there thinking about we're going to be doing Oklahoma for the next 2.5 hours straight.
Yeah, that's fair. That's real.
Yeah.
AJ, we had a good first hour. We started to do some picks, and we're going to let you, if you want to, hop in. We picked the Big Ten. I didn't pick.
How come? Was it right before Ryan?
It was right before we had a guest.
Budging up.
We had a
to
guest
it,
on.
yeah.
So,
so were you going to pick? I
was showing respect for our guest.
Were you going to pick Ohio State?
My pick to win the Big Ten is Penn State.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my surprise team in the Big Ten is Iowa.
Hell
okay,
yes.
so we're all the same page.
All
Yeah.
right, so we already kind of covered those bases. Do you find it tough now, actually?
No.
Not with that. With your son playing for Michigan now and you being in Ohio State, like has that?
No, it hasn't really.
Because your other son played for Ohio State too, so even.
Yeah, I don't really.
Was the
that's their thing.
I heard he almost beat out Bryce.
No. Bryce has been money from what I hear.
Which is great news.
He's been great. We haven't even talked. Michigan would you consider them a surprise just coming off the year they had?
Maybe, are they preseason
they're
top
right on that.
25?
They're right on that tier because obviously I think the top is still Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Michigan.
Yeah.
And maybe you can, if you believe in
Why
Illinois.
are you sleeping on Illinois? Yeah, just because people are talking about Illinois.
It's hard to pick them as a sleeper when they're 12th in the AP.
I have PTSD from last year because Illinois is of the same ilk, as Pete Thamel would say.
Sure, of course.
Of last year, they have the same DNA of like last year when Oklahoma State went 10-2 or whatever, and they brought back 20 starters. And then they fell off.
Good.
And Virginia Tech brought back 20 starters, and everyone was high on them, and then they fell off. So I have PTSD. That's why I'm waiting. I need a team like that to prove it.
Who's AJ have for the Big Ten?
Ohio State, go Bucks. You know that.
Okay, OH, right?
IO. My sleeper team would be Illinois. I don't care if the others ranked them at 12. It's pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, Bielema's doing something great down there.
Okay.
Over there.
He does have a history of success in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
He does.
Yeah,
which is huge.
And if Illinois either won the Big Ten or made it to the college football playoff, like that would be a massive surprise still.
Massive.
You know?
totally agree. But that place, if they're winning, just like Kinnick, is a hostile. It has more of a reputation.
Yes.
Illinois has been so bad for so long. People don't realize that's a really huge home field advantage if they can win.
When's the last time they were good? Aurelius Ben? Is that name correct?
Juice Williams.
Juice Williams.
And I don't even think, but they weren't 12 in the AP
I'm
poll.
going back, like in our era, they were really good. But they had linebackers all in the NFL. Kevin Hardy. I mean, 80s, 90s, Illinois, you didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time. How about the SEC? Who do you guys have to win in the – did we pick the SEC?
We did pick the
ACC. Who do you have?
I mean, it's just kind of a one-team conference, right? Clemson, then the underdog would just be North Carolina. I think.
But a lot of people are talking Miami, though, with Carson Beck, the Georgia quarterback, transferring down there.
I'm basically the
They've
opposite.
spent a ton of money, like Texas Tech.
Yeah. Basically the opposite of a Carson Beck believer, you could say.
Okay.
So that's why, I would lean that boy Dabo in their name, image, and likeness in God's eyes. But also North Carolina. Like, what happens if they are kind of like in Indiana where they bring in 70 new guys and Belichick is still Bill Belichick and reminds everybody of that, and that the college game's simpler, so it might help them out too. But, I mean, I would love to see UNC be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson, I think, they have national championship aspirations. I don't know if you could really call them a sleeper since they made the playoff last year, but SMU, same deal. I think that'd be like, hey, if I want to see it again, I mean, so we'll see. I don't know. ACC in general, it does just feel like it's a one-horse race, and that's it.
Okay, so no respect from Miami at all.
Well, I'm in the same boat with Carson Beck, and I feel like it's a lot like Cam Ward was the number one pick in the NFL draft.
Why are you there? Because physically, you could argue he's the most gifted college quarterback.
Yeah,
right now this year.
I just don't think he was that good last year to begin with, and like the expectations for him now when you pay him $4 million or whatever was reported, it's like, hey, he needs to be the best quarterback in college football this year, and I'm just not there.
Do you guys think it's more mental?
Well, I think it's just the fact that he's at Miami. Like, if Georgia loved him, he'd be a Georgia Bulldog, and that's the bottom line. And for them to let him leave doesn't make me think like, oh, okay, so Kirby Smart still is a huge fan of Carson Beck if he walked out the door and went to Miami, and it's not like they went 9-4 or something. Like they had success. They went to the college football playoff,
right?
But they still let him go. So that's why I just am not a huge believer.
All right, Tone, what do you got in the ACC?
Clemson.
Just a sweep here. Okay.
I mean, yes,
and you guys are saying it like you're almost offended by the question.
No. It's just like. Because they have so much coming back and they have so much first-round talent on defense. And Klubnik had 43 touchdowns last year, which I don't think a lot of people know about or whatever. And I love Tom Allen coming down from Penn State. Finally, I think they have a decent defensive coordinator. I think it'd be shocking if Clemson didn't. Obviously, Miami's the second team there. For a sleeper, is Louisville a sleeper?
I think so, yeah.
I think they're probably the third. And sleeper would be Duke. I think, Duke has been quietly really, really good the last 4 or 5 years. They've had coaching changes or whatever, but Darian Mensah comes in from Tulane, who was really good there, and I think
it's a good one.
They have a chance to shock some people.
All right, AJ, what do you have in the ACC?
I mean, how do you pick against Clemson? Like what Tone said, with everyone they have coming back and Dabo. I mean, people forget Clemson was they were it. What? I don't know, 10 years ago? It felt like they were going to –
even.
Yeah, 7. It's them and Bama every year.
They won in 9.
Yeah, it was like Clemson's going to do this for the next 30 years, it felt like. So it is kind of weird to see how they have somewhat fallen off, but they still make the playoffs last year. Clemson's legit still.
Any upset or any surprise team?
Kirk, how's North Carolina going to do? You said you're calling their game Monday night. How you have to be pretty intrigued at the product that is going to be on that field.
Yeah. What do you bring, 70 new players?
70, yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, it's impossible to know what to think of them until you see them on Monday night. I mean, it's –
As far as the game goes, though,
they're an underdog at home.
Yeah, but you would know as far as, the scheme itself, on a scale of, 1 to 10, how simpler will it be for Bill Belichick to call defenses to confuse people in college?
I don't just think it's as simple as that. I don't think it's just he's a mastermind. I think, first of all, the college coaches are pretty good. I think it's more of how does he adapt to 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that still go to class and are part of a campus, whereas when he was up at New England or with the Giants – I mean, they were grown men.
Pro football. Yeah,
pro football. They show up at 7 a.m. and you're there till 5 or 6 or later at night, and it's 7 days a week, and that's what you do. And that's where I think his advantage would really come into play. I don't know. That's what I think some of the intrigue of this matchup is. I would not sleep on the team they're playing. I mean, if we're having, a relay race or we're playing the Olympics of some kind of pick 7 categories, I mean, TCU athletically is at a very, very high level. So it's going to be interesting to see how, he did it a million times in New England, maybe be outmatched physically and win the game.
Yeah, that's
what he did.
Exactly, right? Yeah, and just not losing ever because of his own mistakes, always making sure
But the players kind of ultimately had to execute that on the field. I mean, he had the mind, that beautiful mind to kind of help them see what they needed to see. But at some point, they had to take it onto the field and have those moments that ended up winning so many games. So I'm thinking it'll happen, but what happened week 1, year 1, I have no idea.
Don't you think there's a little bit of an inverse with that? And that can work in the NFL because obviously everyone is so good already. So you can be the less talented team, and coaching can get you wins that maybe they shouldn't. But by and large, in college, if one roster is much better than the other roster, I just don't know.
Yeah,
I don't care how good of a coach you are. Sometimes you just can't overcome that deficiency.
Right. I think that's fair. And again, I think that's why there's so much excitement to see him coaching in college, and in this first game, where they're an underdog, and no one knows a thing about his roster. And he
doesn't either. Think about it. Belichick doesn't really know what he has either. That's the thing. Until you get out there in the field for your first game, and Darius has said this before on the show. New England was different. On defense, when Bill was in the league, there's times where, hey, this week they might be playing a 4-down front. Oh, next week they come in, they almost install a whole new defense. They're doing a 3-down front. They have a different look. He was able to mix things up from week to week. I think that's just obviously that's going to be a learning process in college. Like how much can you put on these guys?
That's very fair.
And like even just looking at the players, to your point, like when Jonas Gray ran for 4 touchdowns against the Indianapolis Colts, he was cut the next day because he was late to the plane. So you wonder if situations like that happen where, if your quarterback might miss a class, but he's the best player in the conference. Who knows? Maybe that's what happens this year. Is Bill going to still do, things of that ilk, if you will, towards, his players when they are out of line a little, but also knowing, they're 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm just pumped to see him back on the sideline.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to see him coaching in football.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's not let this guy off the hook. You gave us a bunch of shit for taking Clemson. Are you not taking Clemson?
That's a great point.
I did not. I said your tone was like, Clemson. I think Miami's more of a player than I think you guys are making them sound. I think Clemson's the team to beat in the ACC, but I would not be surprised if Carson Beck had a good year.
Sure.
And if Carson Beck at Miami ended up in the playoff. That would not shock me at all. My surprise is Georgia Tech. Brent Key.
Yep.
Remember the Georgia Tech game late last year? Should have won the game.
Yeah.
I just think there's something there. Haynes King is a quarterback that probably a whole lot of people
you gave him a
watching
Herbie.
or listening don't know much about. That kid is really, really talented. It seems like he's been dealing with injuries a lot that he's had to overcome.
Because he doesn't get down. He just tries to run through a brick wall every play.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Georgia Tech, and they open up with Colorado.
I know, that's another exciting one this weekend.
It is. We're about to have Shefty on. Is there anything, if you had to say right now, what player's getting cut, what story, has there been anything up to this point? Shefty maybe shed some light on some players maybe that got cut this morning, but anything surprise here, any big names? I guess the biggest would be not a cut, but Pickett going to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we're all just assuming both rookies, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, are going to be along with Joe Flacco, right? I mean, that's a fair assumption at this point, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't know. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. Like, when it comes to cut day, it seems like this year specifically, too, all the insiders have been tweeting like every person that gets cut, and a lot of these guys, it's like, well, I've never heard of this guy before. I don't know like how, but if they're tweeting about it, it must be some sort of news, So we'll see. I mean, obviously the Trey Hendrickson is big, and then still Shefty was the one last week who said that he thought the Micah and Cowboys situation was heading towards a divorce. He didn't know when it would be, but I think that still looms over everything.
Yeah, some receivers. The Raiders, Jacoby Myers requested a trade. There's something going on with Adam Thielen in Carolina and Minnesota. Like, there are those situations where that cut down day brings where it's like, oh, they might really like a rookie, and some vet who's making $30 million or $20 million, whatever, is going somewhere else. So stuff like that happens. But
AJ, I want to ask you, and I know you guys always get asked this on this day, but you've been where it's not an issue at all, and you just knew you're going to make the team, and then you get a little bit older in your career, and you're wondering, this day feels a little bit different. What are players going through on this day today, especially those guys that are, fighting for those last 5, 6, 7 spots?
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, I think a lot of the times, going into the final, like, the last 8-10 days of camp, like who the kind of bubble is, like where that bubble is, where the spots are where you have too many guys at one spot and it might be a little too deep and you might not make the team. But the tough thing is guys get that initial final cut, and sometimes people think, oh, sweet, they call their families, hey, I made it. I made the team. I'm on the squad. But then you have those 24 hours to clear waivers, and you could still, if your team likes somebody that got cut somewhere else, they can still kick you to the curb the next day and bring this guy in off waivers. So until it's all cleared and waivers have cleared, try not to get too juiced up, I would say, if you've made the squad. Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine, because that's a game-changing day. Life-changing, I should say, day for a lot of these guys. Let's bring our guy in and find out if there are some stories that are breaking out. Adam Schefter from ESPN, who's on top of it. Shefty! Hey!
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
Good. How are you? We were just talking, Shefty, about just, what's the latest? Nobody better than you. Has there been anything this morning or this early afternoon where some moves have been made?
The one blockbuster of the day. It just transpired. Breaking news. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift announced their engagement.
What?
Wow.
That is.
Wow. That trumps all these cuts.
Right.
You weren't expecting that, right? That was on a day with hundreds of transactions. The biggest one of all was Travis Kelce entering to that arrangement with Taylor Swift, becoming engaged.
And look at the setting, Chef.
Perfect.
Look at the setting.
It's an album cover.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Jason Kelce is going to be Taylor Swift's brother-in-law?
Wow.
And all those,
Not me.
and all those doubters a couple years ago, they all said it was fake. This program loves love. If Pat was here, he would say those exact words, and we've always been rooting for this.
Oh, you guys have?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
This program.
The internet's not approved of this, or
On your internet, probably not. But I think,
no, I'm asking. I know you guys enjoy the
split down the
story.
middle. It's split right down the middle. I'm a Taylor Swift guy. I have been since Fearless, so this isn't any news to me. Everybody hopping on the train, but yeah, I would say a lot of people either are pumped about this or hate it with the passion of 1,000 suns.
So when you go to her concerts?
Yeah. Well, we went to Era's tour when it was here.
It was awesome.
It was incredible.
But actually, those other people, they should stop hating it because they all thought it was an act. So now, unless they think it's
that's next level acting.
Yeah. That's a good point. Actually, they should love it now because it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Well, Shefty, we really didn't expect you to break this. I mean, this is
curveball.
Yeah, this.
Wow,
this
that's
is
massive
curve.
news. Remember this day forever.
Remember this day. Connor's crying over here. He's got a tear in his eye.
Holy shit, man! This is crazy.
I thought he was going to say Micah side or something.
We just hit on the Browns with Kenny Pickett going to Las Vegas. Obviously, both these rookies now are going to be on the roster. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think they're going to carry both of them. They were planning to carry 4. If you listen to Andrew Berry during the local TV broadcast over the weekend, he made it sound like they were going to carry all 4. So now they've essentially traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick in 26. And there's 3 guys on the roster. Now, they could always, I guess, maybe bring back Tyler Huntley if they wanted to carry a 4th or sign another quarterback. But I think that they feel pretty good about having Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders on the roster. Joe Flacco is going to start in the opener. And look, these guys, Flacco gets the first chance this year. I would think at some point in time, Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders might get an opportunity. But let's also remember this. The Cleveland Browns have 10 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. They've got their first-round pick and Jacksonville's first-round pick. They've got double 5s, double 6s. So they are loaded up with picks in what is going to be a quarterback-rich draft in 26 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Shefty, can you clear the air on, speaking of the internet, Shedeur Sanders it seems to be a very polarizing figure. Everybody wants to talk about him, has an opinion. Some are real positive, some have concerns. What's real? Like what do the Browns think of who he is, and what do they think of Dylan Gabriel and what he has shown? Seems to be kind of a forgotten commodity at times, in my opinion.
Herbie, I think this. I think they think that Shedeur Sanders is a rookie quarterback, and there's going to be good moments and there's going to be bad moments.
Sure.
And he was the 144th pick in the draft. And so I don't think they're counting on him to be their savior. They think they might have something. They don't know what they have. He looked great in the first preseason game against Carolina. He didn't look quite as effective against the Rams when he held on to the football too long and took sacks and made plays that basically, I think, contributed to him falling in the draft. And the truth is probably somewhere in between, where a lot of rookies are going to have ups and downs. Shedeur Sanders had him during the preseason, and it's the Browns' job to bring him along, develop him, give him a chance, and see what kind of quarterback he could be at the next level. And I think the same is true of Dylan Gabriel. Let's remember, they drafted Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds ahead of Shedeur Sanders, so the organization had a higher opinion, higher regard, more belief in Dylan Gabriel when they drafted him than Shedeur Sanders. That's the fact of the matter on where they were drafted. And Dylan Gabriel's looked good during the summer, and my guess would be that he's going to be the backup for Joe Flacco, and it wouldn't surprise me if both rookie quarterbacks at some point this season get some type of opportunity to play.
Okay, great. AJ, what do you have, bud?
Chef, do you want to pivot? Obviously, everyone's asked you a million times about Micah Parsons, but what do you, in the next 7 to 10 days, is anything going to happen? And if he's not playing week 1, where is he going to be? Will he be on the sideline, like with a back tightness? Like what's it going to look like?
It's been the biggest question at training camp, aside from when Taylor and Travis would get engaged. It continues to be the biggest question of training camp. And here's what I would say today. As negative as this situation has been, Terry McLaurin and the Commanders were not close to a deal, and they figured something out. Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals were not close to a deal, and they figured something out. If both of those sides can figure something out, that gives me some hope that there's a solution in there somehow for Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. That's the upside. The downside is where they're currently at. They're currently in a state where the two sides have had absolutely zero discussions about a new deal since Jerry and Micah had their off-season meetings in late March, early April. They've had zero negotiations, zero proposals, zero back and forth. We've got Jerry really worked up and disappointed with the way this transpired. We've got Micah announcing the fact that he wants to be traded. We've got Micah not practicing at all during the summer, him saying he's got a tight back. And so they open the season in 9 days, a week from Thursday, in Philadelphia. And even if the two sides can figure out a solution, that doesn't seem like it's going to happen right now, today. Even if they could do that, Micah will play, but he'd be limited. If they don't figure out a solution, my guess is his back is going to be too tight to play that night. That's going to be my guess. We'll see how that works out. And if they don't figure out a new contract, I think it's the type of drama that threatens to hang over this team's collective heads all season long to where you don't know whether or not he's playing. He's got so much money at stake. Whenever he does get a new deal from whoever he gets a new deal from, he's going to become the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. So from a guy who didn't play in his senior year or his last year at Penn State when it was COVID, I just think he's going to be very careful about when and if he's on the football field if he doesn't have a new deal. New deal, everything's off. And right now they're not talking. But Hendrickson and McLaurin, I think, provide some hope that somehow they could figure out a way. This is the time that these things usually happen. But the issue with this particular situation is nothing has happened. Nothing. And Jerry's dug in. So you tell me how that's going to break, how that's going to snap, and we'll figure out whether they can get something done to get him back in uniform.
All the while, Shefty, you got a brand new head coach in Shoddy who's just trying to fix all the other concerns that have haunted this organization over the last several years. Ty, what do you have, bud?
Yeah, Shefty, you mentioned Trey Hendrickson. That happened yesterday right as we got off the air. Is this a situation where, we're going to be kind of right back in the same spot next year? Obviously, they get a little bit more team control. He can still be franchise tagged, and he gets a nice little pay bump. But had this been in the works for like a couple days, or was it really just like, hey, let's put our swords down and get something done because our defense absolutely stinks and we need a little juice and we need to get you back out there?
I would say this, that it's a case where Trey and the Bengals were really frustrated with each other over the weekend. So I think it kind of came together quickly. And the Bengals weren't prepared to pay him the type of money over a couple of years, 2-3 years, that he wanted. And I think he was looking for long-term security, couldn't get it. And the solution, in the end, was doing this deal where he collects a $14 million raise. $14 million raise. And just minor little things.
Okay.
Just minor little things.
Oh, don't up us for minor little things, Chef. You get us excited.
You got a house fire again?
Yeah.
I love these live.
There's nothing better.
Live
yeah.
updates.
It's sweet. This is the.
I wish it was a home run though, right?
Yeah, Micah.
That was a foul ball down the left field line.
Yeah, exactly. Shot on goal and soccer.
Yeah. Nothing.
So anyway,
yeah.
I was on Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. Is that where?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they came together. Again, that's what gives me some semblance of hope that maybe Micah and the Cowboys can have some type of breakthrough, because I'm just telling you, over the weekend, these sides were nowhere. and it came together really quickly, and that's kind of how it happened.
Okay, well, you can take some time there because Connor is going to hop in next with a question.
Yeah, Shefty, and again, I'm probably going to ask a terrible question, so you can ignore it if you want. But there's a report, I forget who tweeted exactly, but Jalen Milroe is going to have his own, package for Seattle this year, going to definitely be playing with the first team. Yeah, here it is with a special set of plays that they'll have in the game plan. What is the expectation in Seattle when it comes to Milroe? They signed Darnold to the 3-year deal, but the way the contract works, a lot of people are saying that it's really just a 1-year deal and they can get out of it. Do they have hopes for Jalen Milroe to be the future in Seattle? And how much time should we expect him to get early on in the season?
Herbie could answer this better than I could probably, but I would just say to you that they drafted Jalen Milroe to develop Jalen Milroe. And while they're developing him, and that could be a couple of years, I think they want to utilize his talents because while we could not take advantage of the skill set that he brings you and what he can do. And Jalen Milroe can be a weapon on offense for the Seahawks, and they know that. So they're going to utilize him in certain spots while they plan to develop him. And by the way, while they develop him, we don't know what kind of quarterback he is or isn't going to turn into. But I'll say this. They are very pleased with Sam Darnold right now. I don't think they're thinking of saying, okay, let's get Jalen Milroe ready here for 2027 so he can supplant Sam Darnold. They are obviously focused on 25, and they believe in Sam Darnold. And by all accounts, he's looked really good this summer. They are very happy. I know that to be the case. And we'll see how he plays and how he produces this season. But Milroe is going to be factored into their offense. He's going to be mixed in. He'll be a weapon. But I think that they plan on developing him over time.
Tone?
Shefty, there is a couple wide receivers who are rumored to potentially be on the trade market. Jacoby Myers, who had 1,000 yards last season. He hasn't had less than 800 yards in the last 5 seasons. He's been very productive, and I don't think he gets talked about enough. And then Adam Thielen, who had 1,000 yards 2 years ago, was banged up last year, but probably would have had another 1,000 last year with Bryce Young. Both of those guys are talked about being potentially traded. Thielen specifically to the Vikings. What's the latest on those two?
They've not made much progress. They've not been able to bridge their differences. And again, I'll lean on the Hendrickson McLaurin theories that these things sometimes can come together. But Carolina is not willing to give Adam Thielen away. And so right now, subject to this changing, it looks like it won't happen. But you never know if there's going to be a last push here today or tomorrow to get a deal done to send Adam Thielen. Now, if you're the Vikings, you say, yeah, we'd love to have Adam Thielen, but we're not going to pay what Carolina wants. Maybe we just go sign KJ Osborne, who the Commanders released today, and can step in to Minnesota, knows the offense there, and can help provide some relief until Jordan Addison comes back from his suspension and Jalen Naylor recovers from his hand injury and Justin Jefferson is recovered from his hamstring injury. So Thielen to the Vikings have tried, and they continue to try, but up until now, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Who's the other receiver?
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. My understanding is the Raiders had one team reach out to them. They wanted the Raiders to pay some of the $11 million salary, and the Raiders are not willing to do that, and they're not looking to deal him. So Jacoby Myers is going to be there, barring something unforeseen happening. I mean, they could decide a few games in he's not happy, he's not behaving well, but they don't want to trade him, and they view him as a productive player. He's been a really good player, and he's entering the last year of his deal, so they want to hold on to him in Vegas. They're not looking to deal him, and right now they have no intention of trading him.
Shefty, just talking to so many different people that you talk to, are there any teams besides the obvious? We know about Buffalo, we know about the behemoths, Baltimore, the Kansas City Chiefs. If you had to guess a team or two that you think putting some young pieces together and they look like they could become a team that's in the playoffs, is it Atlanta? Is it Seattle? Is it Arizona? Who do you think could make a possible run and surprise some people this year based on the people you've been talking with?
Well, let me say this, that at this time last year, I was convinced that the Broncos were going to do just what you're talking about. And I believe that the Washington Commanders, if Jaden Daniels was going to do what he... So if I'm going to identify a couple of teams in that category this year, First of all, I think I know they've won the division 4 straight years, but I don't think the Buccaneers are getting enough attention as a proven team. As a sleeper team, a long shot team that we think is going to make a jump up this year. The first team I'll look at would be the New England Patriots. I just think with Mike Vrabel there, he's going to have them playing hard, and Drake May is poised to take a jump. And I'm not trying to make Boston Connor any happier here, but I think that here are going to have a chance to compete for the playoffs. So, yeah, you can tell Mike Vrabel I'm dialing up the heat on him here, right?
No doubt.
Playoff team, right? Tough. He's going to have a nice Labor Day weekend here after getting through cuts, a little break, and we got me dialing up the pressure on the Patriots saying that they could make a playoff push here. But I think they can. I think they're good enough to do that. They've got some holes, but I think that team is poised to make a jump. I think Arizona is going to be better than people realize. I think the New York Giants, brutal schedule, but I think that team is a little bit better than people realize this year.
Those are good ones. Falcons, if Penix can stay healthy, it seems like they have a shot. Is there anything you're waiting on right now? I mean, we all get excited for this day to find out who might be let go. There always seems to be a few surprises. Is there anything out there that we should all be kind of waiting on that's an either-or situation in the NFL?
Aside from a wedding date for Taylor and Travis.
That's fair, yes. Yeah.
I think that we could see Cam Robinson, the Houston Texans left tackle, traded. The Texans drafted a tackle in the second round. I have to look at the name to be able to pronounce it correctly because it's not a simple name to pronounce. But when I look at it, I think I can pronounce it correctly. Give me a moment here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
So their new left tackle is, here we go. I hope I say it right. Arante Ursary.
Awesome name.
Round draft pick. And Cam Robinson struggled with injuries. And Ursary had a chance to take over the summer and not only stepped into that role, but shined. And so it made it such that the Texans can trade Cam Robinson. So I think that it wouldn't surprise me if he's traded. We're still waiting for the Vikings to make a move at wide receiver, whether that's trading for a receiver, signing KJ Osborne, doing whatever it is that they do. And there's obviously still going to be a slew of moves made between now and the 4 o'clock deadline, 146 minutes from right now.
Is the Vikings trade, Shefty, that's strictly because of the Addison suspension, or is there any worry with Justin Jefferson's health?
Well, again, you got Jefferson coming off a soft tissue injury. He's expected to be ready for the opener. You've got Jalen Naylor, who would have been their third. He has a hand injury. Not sure how much time he's going to miss. And you've got Jordan Addison serving a 3-game suspension. So there's a few receivers that are banged up. And you got a quarterback playing his first NFL snaps. So you want to give him as much support as you can, being that he's never played in an NFL game before. So they need to come up with another receiver or two here, and we'll see what they can do to help out J.J. McCarthy.
All right, one last question for you, Tom.
Yeah, Shefty, real quick, because we haven't talked about it in a while, and I don't know if it's because Cam Hayward went back to practice, but there was never really a resolution on his contract that I am aware of. Is he just gonna? Did that just go away, or what's going on right now with Cam?
Nope, it did not go away. It's still there. It is unresolved, and I think Cam Hayward talked about the fact that he was willing to retire. Now, I haven't heard anything since then, but there are a few unresolved situations, and this one just has not generated as much conversation either because people don't believe him or he's older or whatever it may be. But I think this one, we haven't heard the last of this one just yet, and we'll see where direction that goes. I don't think he's been a part of a team practice yet. He's gone through individual drills. Yeah. He's done running. He's stayed in, but I don't think he's practiced with the team yet this summer.
I think it's because DK and Aaron went on his podcast and said, "Oh, Cam, I forgot it's all about you and your money," and I think that kind of solved the whole thing.
Oh, so that was it? Okay, great.
Yep.
Then it's all over.
Sounds like he's getting a couple of those under-the-table Italian knuckle sandwiches, if you ask me.
Maybe. We saved money on a punter yesterday. Maybe just give that to Cam.
There you go. Shefty, man, you really are always dialed in. Appreciate you hopping on with us, and look forward to seeing what comes down. How many minutes left? 100 and what?
Right now we've got
143.
120, 143.
Well done, Kirk.
All right.
140. And who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought this segment would start the way it did? I never thought that this segment today.
We'll never
would
forget
lead off
that.
with that news.
Yeah.
Right, that I actually sent out on as an ESPN alert because I felt like there's enough interest, and I'm sure there's
power.
Yeah, I didn't know you had that power.
Oh,
Shefty.
yeah.
Are you a Swiftie too, Shefty?
Let me say this: that I took my wife and my daughter. We saw her in Foxborough in the rain show. It was incredible. She was remarkable. It wasn't raining. It was pouring for 3.5 hours. And you never would have known. Like, if that were me standing out in the rain after 2 minutes, I'd be like, get me an umbrella, get me inside. I'm way too soft for that. She got out there, played the piano in the rain. You never would have thought anything was wrong.
Wow.
And it was incredible.
Dog.
She walked out that night. She said, I've performed in the rain before, but this is the rainiest of rain shows I've ever been a part of. And it was a monsoon. And she didn't flinch.
Blink. And the crowd didn't blink. That was a special night.
Probably loved it.
Shefty, you're the man. Thanks, buddy. See you soon.
Thank you all.
Hey,
Appreciate
Shefty.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, she's a legend when it comes to performing.
Yeah,
Like,
she's just a gamer.
Entertainer.
Right? Just goes through it.
well, it's so long.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
Yeah, like that rain one. I remember when
Shefty
that
trying to
happened.
secure that invite. Sorry, but Shefty's just trying to secure that invite.
Yeah.
Does feel like that.
Tone, I always love when we have Shefty on. You get to the bottom of the Steelers, don't you?
Well, if there's pertinent information, I don't like to force things in there, but if there's a contract thing going on, yeah. But one of the things he brought up that we talked about in our extensive pre-show meeting was JJ McCarthy, and how it's technically his second year, but it's obviously his first year starting, and not having Jordan Addison, and if Justin Jefferson is hobbled at all or whatever, Shefty's right. He does need those guys to start the year. Do you agree?
Naylor too.
Yeah, obviously.
Slot guy, right?
He needs all the pieces. We were talking about how the KOC has probably one of the most quarterback-friendly offenses in the NFL. What he was able to do last year with Sam Darnold, what he did with Kirk Cousins. If they have their pieces, I'm one and I know everybody's going to cast judgment on, what happened in camp and preseason at a practice, but I think J.J. McCarthy in this system can be a superstar. I think he can do what Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold did, but bring you that youthful energy to make 3 or 4 plays a game. And in this system, you don't have to do necessarily much more than that. Distribute the ball, don't make mistakes, and once in a while, use your legs to make a play. And I just think, hopefully he gets his pieces all together, and I think they could become a real, if they're healthy, they could become a challenge to the Lions in that division and the Pack.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder about expectations for this year, because I think a lot of people last year, while Sam Darnold was still having his run, were saying like, hey, next year, or whenever J.J. McCarthy, takes the reins, like this team could go to another level. So, and then they won 14 games last year, they almost won the division. So
their defense is really good.
Their defense is very good. But it's just, it's tough to think that. I understand how talented he is. I mean, I saw him play a bunch at Michigan too.
Yeah.
It's tough to think that someone's going to come in and
early like that
and have a better year and to think that, hey, this team might win 15 games and be the number one team in the NFC. Like, I still think it's going to take a little bit of time.
Put that graphic back up real quick if you can. What's the best division, top to bottom, you guys think?
AFC North.
I'd say NFC North.
NFC North?
Yeah.
Anybody could. You wouldn't be shocked by any team winning that, would you?
The NFC North?
NFC North, if all four teams won, you wouldn't be like flabbergasted.
No, the Bears would be the longest odds, but you can see it still with the Bears winning.
Yeah, what about the AFC West? Do you think the Raiders are coming?
It's vastly
with Pete Carroll?
It's vastly improved.
Because you know about Denver and Kansas City and even the Raiders, even the Chargers. If the Raiders we just assume Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, all the pieces they got, Chino coming in at quarterback. I mean, I think they're better. What's the worst division?
AFC South.
Yeah, by far. Actually, someone just tweeted out now 2 of the 4 starting running backs in that division are out for the first 4 games because Mixon and for the Texans and Spears for the Titans, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that division's wide open. We normally would say the NFC South, but I think Atlanta and Carolina are showing enough. Tampa's already there.
Yeah, AFC West and NFC West are both the divisions where everybody's like, hey, this insert team in this division might be much better this year. Like we just heard it again about Arizona, have heard it about Seattle, and then the AFC West, just because every single coach, I think everybody has a ton of respect for. You could believe,
for sure. We now have another guest on. We're going to bring in my man Joseph Scott Galloway, who played in the NFL for, I want to say, 18 years?
25 years.
18 years. What'd you say?
25 years.
25
running a 4.3 at age 42.
Still running a 4.3. Joey Galloway.
Yeah, Joey!
He's running right now. Joe, what would you run a 40 in today? If you were stretched out, prepared, what would be your guess on a 40 right now?
There is no what would happen in a 40 right now for me. I hung those shoes up when I decided I wanted to get better at golf. Now that has not gone well on either side. I might as well just keep running 40s because the golf side of this thing is not going well. I played today and it was ugly, so I might as well start running again. To be honest with you,
what'd you shoot today?
It was one of those. So I played Muirfield Village, which has not been kind to me over the years. And quite honestly,
Joe, that's where the big dogs play.
Good.
That's where the big
Yeah, and I was a little dog out there, and I played, and it was one of those when you stop keeping score on the back nine.
Sure,
it's one of those rounds. It's like, what am I?
That's my every round.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I play 9 holes.
No point writing down these doubles and triples any longer. Let's just move on to the next hole.
Yeah, that's a frustrating day. You'll bounce back. How many days a week are you playing golf in the off season?
Well, I try to get at least one. What happens now once football season gets rolling, because I help coach my kids, which AJ Hawk can understand. Herb, you've graduated out of this nowadays, but the helping coach the kids thing rules the day. And so I'm helping with a couple football teams, and so the golf game has taken a backseat to that.
Got it. You're Ohio State, Texas, so many big games starting on Thursday, college football. We went through each conference, kind of picked our teams that we think could win each of the Power 4 conferences. What about you in the Big Ten? Are you in Ohio State? You think Ohio State will win that conference? Do you think Penn State? Who do you think will come out of there alive?
I think Ohio State comes out alive. A lot of people like Penn State. I like Penn State. But until I see Penn State get over the hump in the big game, I think it's still Ohio State's conference to lose. We'll see what Julian Sain looks like. Obviously, through a season, your young quarterbacks don't have to grow up. He'd have to make some plays for you. I think right now Ohio State's still the best team in the Big Ten.
AJ, what do you think?
Joey, so in this matchup, Jeremiah Smith, what are defenses going to do this year to try to take him away, and what can they do offensively? We know they have Carnell Tate. They have plenty of talent around him, but specifically with Jeremiah, we know what he's done, like taking over the college world. What do you think opposing defenses will do to him?
Well, if they're smart, they just double team him and stay back. I would give him as many hitches as he wants, and I would make him play underneath and just not that coverage right there. I wouldn't play that coverage. That did not work. I would get away from that coverage, and I would make sure I kept him underneath and just try to tackle the guy. He's going to get his. He's at that stage where he is absolutely going to get his. You just don't want him to break the game wide open. And that coverage right there didn't work either. So, yeah, you got to keep him underneath, tackle him, double team him. I would make someone else on the field beat me besides Jeremiah Smith.
Tone?
Yeah, obviously Jeremiah Smith is an absolute stud, but he has a new quarterback thrown to him. Oregon has a new quarterback. Bama has a new quarterback. Notre Dame has a new quarterback. Georgia has a new quarterback. All these teams are in the top 10. So do you give teams like, say, Clemson, Penn State that actually, have a quarterback coming back, that they have an idea what they have with that quarterback? Do you give those teams an early advantage? Even LSU, as we're looking right now, with Nuss coming back too, do you give those teams an advantage early in the season?
I do. And probably because I played receiver, it just makes me know how important that quarterback is to what you're trying to accomplish, because there's going to be times in a season, no matter what, you could be the best running team in the country. There are going to be times when your quarterback has to make plays for you in big moments and big games. And so if you have a guy that's been there, if you're Klubnik and Clemson, I think that's why a lot of people like Clemson right now. And that's honestly why a lot of people like Penn State, because of the returning quarterback situation. I think it gives you a leg up. Now, with you starting off in big games, if you're Texas and Ohio State and you're starting off in these big games, if you're Clemson, you're starting off in a big game against LSU, it makes the quarterback grow up fast, and you find out what you have really early in your season. And then if you're teams like Ohio State and you play at Texas, and then you have a couple games in there that are winnable football games, you find out what your young quarterback can do in the big moments, and then he has time to grow. When you play Clemson, when you play OU, he has some time to grow and get I guess, more settled, because the Texas game won't be very settling for Julian Sayin. It's going to be a learning situation for him. In a big moment, he's got to make some plays.
It's crazy. That graphic, 7 of the top 10 in the preseason AP, all new quarterbacks. Yep. You know, you have 3 guys that bring you experience with the team that they are playing for this year. Ty?
Yeah, Joey, speaking of that game on Saturday, there's been a lot of talk about Arch Manning, you know, leading up to the start of the season. Some people saying, hey, this guy should be the Heisman favorite. He's going to be the, you know, number 1 pick in the draft whenever he comes out. And then some people saying, like, well, you know, slow down. He's maybe the 5th or 6th best quarterback in the SEC. What are you expecting to see from him, not only Saturday, but this whole year? Obviously, Texas, a lot of people are picking to win the national championship with all the talent they have around Arch.
Well, we've heard so much about him, and you know, me and Kirk, we sort of joke about this a lot. It's when this is the time of year when everyone's picking the Heisman, when Arch Manning is going to be the best quarterback anybody's ever seen, and we've yet to see that happen on the field. This is that time for the big statements. Everyone's trying to make hit a home run early in the season, so that later on they can say, "Hey, I was right." I need to see it. I've been covering college football now for I'm in double digits now. I'm getting old.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I've been around long enough to know, like, hey, I need to see it first. I think he's super talented. I think that he'll be a really good quarterback. I'm just not in the camp that is saying he's going to win the Heisman. Can he? Yes. Is he talented enough? Yes. But the amount of things that have to go right, especially for a quarterback in winning football games, you know, it's a long season. A lot of things can happen. I think he'll be really, really good. I'm just not one of those guys that's going to be like he's the best quarterback in college football before we've actually seen it happen.
And honestly, I think that's what Arch prefers.
Yes.
You know, I think he's been a guy that he doesn't really get involved with social media. He answers questions, but he doesn't go out and try to create hype. He's kind of an anomaly, really. I mean,
he's a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a man.
He's a man.
You know, I mean, that's what they do. He wants you to wait to watch him and then give your take. And that's what we'll do. What do you I'm sorry, what do you want to ask?
Yeah, all good, Kirk. You're still crushing it. But Joey, going past college, you know, Jeremiah Smith's going to miss a lot to Mecca Ibuka, and you know, he might go down as the greatest number 2 receiver ever because he's a number 1, but he's just been on teams that have unbelievable wide receivers, and that continues at Tampa. How do you think his transition is going to be to the NFL? The word out of Tampa is that he is unbelievable. And with the injury to McMillan, I believe he is going to end up being the number 3 receiver, number 2 receiver possibly right off the bat if Godwin's not back. What do you expect that transition to be like, and what is he going to deal with as he goes from college to the pros?
I think if Jeremiah Smith wasn't on the other side, we would have talked a lot more about Mecca Ibuka. He's that kind of talent. Ohio State's been on an incredible run of putting out these NFL-ready wide receivers, and he's another one in that line. When you look at him physically, he is physically ready. I think he's going to be in a great system. He has a good quarterback in Baker Mayfield throwing him the ball, so I think he'll be really, really good. It made me laugh a second ago. You were trying to get a question in. So you guys have now dealt with Kirk here for a while, and at times it's tough to get a question in. Because you have Kirk sitting there, and honestly, we already know if Kirk is on the desk with you, sit back. There's going to be at least 3. He's going 3 deep, and asking questions, and then he'll look at you like, all right, it's your turn. And you're like, hey, man, you just asked everything that was left on the table.
He's inquisitive.
So he's going to go 3 questions deep before you guys get in. So I would say he's shown a lot of respect for you guys because you guys have jumped right in this thing. And Kirk, you come a long way, big fella.
Hey, I told they asked me if I ever hosted radio, and I told them, I don't know, for 20 years or so. And I said guys like Joey and Vrabel and Eddie George would hop in, and Joey, you would do it, and you'd always ask, how much am I getting paid? You know, I remember you said, I was like,
it wasn't very much, but it has paid off in the long run because honestly, I learned so much.
Oh, hell yeah.
Doing radio with you.
Hell yeah.
It's come a long way.
Joseph, Pat is back from his trip and is about to hop on here. Yeah. Hop in here, kid.
Yeah. How are you?
Good to see you, buddy.
Can you send me my headphones over
Good to
there?
be back.
Kennywood hat. Underneath the Kennywood hat.
Oh, yeah, right here?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Respect the Kennywood hat.
What up, baby? Hey, Joey, let a naysayer know, brother.
What's going on, big fella?
He can't hear you.
He doesn't have his headphones in.
What's going on? Oh, here's something right here. Are these them, maybe?
Yeah, that'll work.
Here you go.
Just got off the plane. Literally just walked off a bird here.
Welcome
How we doing,
back.
boys?
Good.
Joey, I'm so happy you're on the program. Herbie, thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How long a flight was that?
Okay, I was just off it was
15 or 20?
I think it was 14 and a half, but we landed 30 minutes before customs opened, so we had to sit on the plane.
Sure.
You got leaner over there, huh?
The food, I'm not even going to get into a political debate here. The food in Australia, so much healthier than whatever we got going on here.
It's a problem.
I used to be a big, hey, thank you, you're going to help me there. I appreciate that. I used to be a big, hey, don't touch my Cocoa Puffs guy. Mm-hmm. I want my Cocoa Puffs to taste as processed and as fake as possible.
Right.
I'll tell you what, those Aussies got great food, high quality food, no process, nothing. Feel like you're really in there. I'm not going to be a political advocate for anything, but I will say I feel good. Joey, how you doing?
He can hear you now, Joe.
I am good. So you just flew in from Australia?
Yeah, buddy. Brisbane, actually. Vegas, they call it. It's a great place. You know, the blokes down there, pretty good people. Pretty good people, Joey.
This is a different world. I don't really have friends that just flew in from Australia. My friends fly in from like Chicago or somewhere like that. Australia, my God.
Well, now you can
Sounds
count
like
me.
an amazing trip.
You can count me as that guy. And I want to let you know, I heard you were talking a little shit about Herbie in the back as soon as I got here. You've been crushing it. I've been with Herbie. You've been absolutely crushing it, Herbie. You've been crushing it, Herbie.
Yeah.
Same with Pete. Same with Petey out here.
He got a
doing it.
chance to see the Thunderdome. This is a big day for us.
I like you wore all black here. It's not really black. It's a gray shirt, but on the internet it looks black. I appreciate you doing that for the good of the program.
Ball club, right? That's what we do here, right?
Yeah, for the good of the
Peter
program.
looks a little different, too.
Does he?
Yeah, you getting work done on his face?
No. Peter? No, he's just...
Maybe it's from behind. He looks
Growing
different
into his
then.
body.
You giving this dog Botox already?
No, look, he's carrying his leash.
What are we talking about?
okay.
Did he say that the dog gets some
Look
work
at him.
on his
Look at him.
face?
Look how he carries his leash. He's ready to go. Look at
Joe, I was trying to get to the...
All right, we've done enough here, is what Peter said.
He's like that. We got to get.
Yeah. Hey, any big time cuts today? I haven't been able to.
Not really. The first thing was Taylor Swift got engaged.
Yeah,
that was the first story.
That's the
Not,
biggest news.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I mean,
We got to throw the Travis Kelce got engaged.
Very good photos too.
Oh my God.
Archie.
Unbelievable.
I love it. They're so high school, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I would just like to let everybody know that's listening that might be new to the program. We, from day one, have been saying they're actually in love and this isn't fake. So
That's what
The internet didn't believe you.
this is a pretty vindicated situation here for us. Congrats to them being in love. I'm a big fan.
Awesome.
Big
Awesome.
fan.
Joey, we'll talk soon, brother.
Joey, love you, man. Have a great college football season, Joey.
See you, buddy.
Joey.
Love you, Joey.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, I actually said if Pat was here, he would let everyone know that this program has always said that we love love.
And that they are actually in love.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including people that work in Herb Street's world, saying this was a plant.
My word.
Not Kirk.
Not me.
Yeah,
I don't know
those people
anything
have to come
about
around,
anything.
too.
Pretty silly today.
I learned from AJ. I know nothing about Sergeant Schultz.
Too much work to be fake. Why would it be fake?
right.
Be way too
That's
much
right.
work.
By the way,
AJ, great to see you. Love that
10
the hair's still
seconds.
growing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
Really
for doing this,
appreciate
Kirk.
it. Thank you, boys.
Kirk Herbstreit.
Yes, sir.
Game day Saturday. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're back in it. good send out there. We're still live, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
You know we're still live.
Yeah. Got another 2 or 3 minutes.
What's up, dude? How you
Thanks
feeling?
for hopping on here.
Yeah.
Bro.
Did you get new shoes?
So,
what the fuck? Are you shitting me? Dude.
There's a gym in Brisbane that me and First Sergeant Gartland hung out in for. He just killed one of our balls. Yep. Take it, Pete. It's yours.
You got a ball. Get
Yeah,
that
Pete,
ball.
it's your ball. It's your ball.
Get it.
Nobody can make a shot with it anyway, so it's yours, Pete. So the hotel that we were staying at didn't have the most to do.
Sure.
We're all kind of scattered throughout the city of Brisbane. Where me and First Sergeant Gartland were staying was a little bit away from everybody else. Our hotel was nice, not a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
There was this gym called TFP that we were allowed in, 5 stories high.
Jeez.
Has a tree growing in the middle of it.
Pretty awesome.
Pool, hot tub, sauna, floating pools. It's the nicest gym I've ever seen in my life. So me and First Sergeant Gartland basically made that our residence.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking 7 hours one day we were there. Next day, 8 hours there. And what we learned, everybody's wearing slides, you know. So we got these are called our TF. There it is. That might have been me actually walking right there. Yeah, this is the TFP place. It is the nicest gym I've ever seen. The guy that owns it, Damien Cavalucci. He's a good man. We became the mayors of the place.
They have Pie Zones down there?
I asked him that actually. I said a lot of Paisans. He said mostly north because they've come down here, but not a lot. But yeah, it was a great place. So these are my TFPs, and I traveled them. This will be the last time they're on my feet.
I was gonna say,
they look good.
What the hell?
They did well in Australia, though. I will say.
Probably good travel.
What day of the week does it feel like to you?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
if you just what
I actually texted somebody on the way in. What day is it for you guys? I think somebody was trying to book somebody on a certain day. And I said, well, what day is it right now? It's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 4 a.m. Brisbane time.
Yeah, what
for you.
time is it for you?
So it's Wednesday right now. The issue is
4 a.m. Wednesday?
I took off 6 a.m. and then I landed 5:30 a.m.
Gee.
So
and the 6 a.m. was like 5 o'clock because we were talking to you last night before you.
Yeah, so the whole thing's backwards. And they do drive on the left side of the road, obviously, down there.
Oh.
The Flushing, I don't know if it goes the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
They hate weed down there.
Really?
They are not the biggest marijuana fans. They do love the snow, though, down there, from my understanding.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
From my understanding. Everybody that I would go to normally and be like, hey, you got any weed? No, lad, but we got, and then they
Something else for you?
I'm like, no, I don't need that.
Let's go up. How's the AFL?
It was sick.
It looked the videos, the vantage point you had was unbelievable.
Yeah, we'll dive into it another day. I'm still pretty raspy in the voice.
Sure.
Need to get this thing back before at least Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we need you on Saturday.
Yeah, so tomorrow will be a good time.
When are you flying to Columbus or heading over?
Friday? Okay. When are you going?
I think Wednesday. I have to go see Jorge. I get a crown.
Get the teeth done.
I got a crown.
Smart.
Yeah, smart.
I got a temporary crown.
Oh.
I got to get a permanent.
Protect that thing.
Yeah.
You remember I had to get that thing pulled middle of the year last year?
Oh, man.
The teeth issue will really get you.
Yeah, you should put one of Peter's teeth in your mouth.
Something to think about. Or
They
maybe.
work, evidently. I mean, I never seen him carry a basketball.
Well, I've never. Those basketballs were very healthy before Peter.
Yeah, they've been here for a long time.
AJ, love what you're doing with the hair. Still doing it.
Yep.
I like that.
Still doing it. Yeah, we're still doing it, man.
Stay dedicated.
I like that. All I've been able to see is clips of everything. It's so backwards. So the middle of the day, I called it the Australian shut-eye because nobody that we know is awake.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty isolated over there. I will say you are pretty isolated in Australia. Really dependent upon each other when you're over there.
Is it winter there?
Yes, it is winter where we were about to, come
What's
up.
What's that mean? What temp-wise?
It was 60.
Oh.
Okay.
The place we were
nice.
at has a rooftop that has where the pool is, the hot tub, cold tub, and everything. And all they kept saying is, "This is nothing. Wait, the summer, mate. It's just this place is crazy or whatever." And yeah, I had shirt off. I was like, "This is."
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
I was having a great time.
It's great here now. By the way,
it rained a little. Yes, I felt it outside.
50 in the morning.
55 in the morning.
Oh,
It's
we
glorious.
made it.
Yeah,
It's glorious.
Football season.
It's glorious.
Yeah, it really is.
I was gone a long time. Cracker Barrel's gone.
Yeah, new logo.
Rest in peace.
Actually,
Yeah,
if,
history.
if you listen to the Commander in Chief today, I think he is suggesting going back.
To Cracker and Barrel?
To the old logo. Okay. So I don't know how long the logo.
I don't think he's the only one suggesting
I don't think so either. I think he's the most
Did the
powerful
CEO
one.
survive?
Gone. No. Yeah, somebody got fired today on the flight over.
Why would you do? Why would that makes no sense?
I think it's an aggressive decision. I appreciate it.
No, I'm saying before. Like, why would you make a change after decades of dominance?
I assume you got to remember these people who are super geniuses. They get into a meeting and they have it all figured out. You remember, they're the experts. Much like social media people of the modern world, they're all geniuses. They went to school. They got a social media degree. We understand what's going on. These olds that are running company, you guys can never understand what the modern world is. We get it. You don't get it. So I think what happens is people get in there. We're super geniuses. Believe us. And I think they were probably trying to expand their demo a little bit.
And
like
they lost their base.
We need to get younger,
process.
they said. And that would be like universities being like, we need to start getting like 12-year-olds in here.
Yeah.
It's like you grow into Cracker Barrel. Like that's just how it goes. You become older, you go to Cracker Barrel. So trying to expand the demo younger just feels dumb, but good luck to them. I love that place. I used to play checkers with people.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the general store?
Yeah, that's the general
I
store.
love Cracker. I am a Cracker Barrel goer.
Yeah.
Still give it a go. See, walk into the modern looking thing they got there.
No.
How's the B's and G's?
Can't do it.
You guys got it figured out. But that was good whenever I left. Gone now. It was 100 degrees when I left. 50 degrees now.
Yep. Feels great.
You're a Hall of Famer now.
Congrats.
I'm in a Hall of Fame.
Right?
Yeah, I guess that's happening. Thank you to West Virginia for the love. I appreciate that.
Hopefully we'll see them early.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't know if you saw today.
Need them both to figure it out.
Bama's afraid of West Virginia.
What's that?
Bama is afraid of West Virginia. They just canceled their home and home.
That's what I heard. And we just let them out. We said, you guys have already paid enough with how bad this is going to look for you. You know.
I thought Rich
How
Rod
about
wanted
Rich
a hot
Rod?
steak.
They got everything.
Hey,
They got
want a
ice
Herbie?
cream. He's like, heck, they got sprinkles back here in the back. I mean,
Want a Herbie.
yeah.
Rich Rodriguez won a Herbie.
Oh, yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. I want to let you know. I was in Australia.
You heard about it.
Didn't see the Herbies live. Checked them afterwards.
Yeah.
West Virginia won one.
Yeah.
We like that.
Hey, I'm all in.
Yeah.
If Rich Rod is there, I'm all in.
Hey, I'm sure you've talked about this, and I have missed it. You already have your national championship pick. You've told everybody.
I have not told
We
anybody.
did our conferences. We didn't do national
I haven't
championship
said that about the national title.
or the playoff.
No, not yet. Who do you pick? Who are you picking?
I'm not saying it.
Who you going to go with? Texas and who else?
I think they might just play against themselves. I like Texas a lot.
You put a Manning out there anywhere, he's going to
I'm on board. Yes.
Penn State?
I'm on board. Love the how
I
much
love Penn State.
Drew Aller. I like how last season ended for Drew Aller. A lot of people don't.
Clemson.
Okay, you've been high on
I like
Cade
Clemson this
Klubnik
year.
for a long time.
Yeah, I like Clemson this
I haven't seen much out of Cade last year. A lot of
played well.
touchdowns.
He played well last
43.
A lot of touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Maybe they're back.
LSU Clemson opening game, winner of that game.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Ryan Day, you guys had him on the show. Good to see he came on the show. That's crazy.
Finally.
Yeah.
Penn State, Texas would be a banger.
Yes.
How does Penn State not get there?
Ohio State.
That's a great question.
Because they
Yeah.
habitually choke in big games.
Yeah.
His
they
record
never-
against top 5
Is not
opponents.
1-8-18
Hey, Aussies like our sport.
football.
Well, they send punters here. I mean,
Yeah.
Next
Right.
year.
I also informed them on how that's all actually going, and they all kind of.
what did you tell them?
Well, the Hawaii guy's 29 years old.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about how good he is. He is. I retired when I was 29, made like my second Pro Bowl.
The
third
YouTube
Pro Bowl.
kicker, Hawaii guy, or the punter?
The punter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's 29, I think, which is cool. I'm happy he's getting an opportunity. Once again, I had an entire professional career. I've been nominated for the Hall of Fame 3 times, retired when I was 29. So taking on 17-year-old kids for scholarships, certainly something. Sure. But love the Aussie people. Also love Aussie Rules football. Went to the game. I understand why they are so good at it. It is fantastic.
I saw you punted one there.
Yeah, I had to
Crushed it.
represent.
You did?
Yeah, I had to represent. First time I punted in multiple years. Have not punted in a long
How'd the
time.
hammy and everything hold up?
Yeah, the hip flexor certainly felt it a little bit afterwards, but I'm on so much science now.
Bada bing,
Out of
bada
the
boom.
system.
Bop-a-da-bop-a-boop.
Bop, bop.
I was asked, hey, you want to play tomorrow by a lot of people with jokes. I'm like, do you guys drug test here or no? And they're like, yes, we do. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not passing any of them. I'm not passing any of them.
We've never done it, but I mean, if the international game next year is in Australia. and
we
see
would definitely get. What do we know? What city it's in?
I want to say Melbourne, but I'm not sure. Do they know what time they're going to play that game at? Because 9:30 a.m. is what, 11:30?
Yeah, it would have to be a morning game.
Yeah,
it would have to be a morning game. So it's morning and night. I'm able to talk to you guys, but it was flipped, if you recall.
It is at the MCG.
Your mornings, the cricket grounds in Melbourne.
You were in bed when we were getting ready for the show.
Exactly. Yeah. So everything's just completely backwards there. It's beautiful country, though. I would recommend it highly. It's a long way. People are awesome. Food is so good. So
You don't like preservatives?
No preservatives.
No, you don't like that?
You could.
It's real food,
I'll
Herbie.
tell you, it was.
I'm saying here, he doesn't like the preservatives.
I do, though. I was a big don't touch my fucking food guy. For like I said there, don't touch my food. I'm telling you, it started with Cocoa Puffs. They changed the Cocoa Puff recipe to get it healthier. And I'm like, I'm not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs anymore.
Yeah.
This is not how it's supposed to be.
The worst.
Now, though, after eating like that for a week, it's like...
Well, you leaned out.
It is...
You dropped a few lbs.
And also, you don't feel...
It's probably nice to not feel like complete shit after every meal you eat.
Hash brown. I'm eating hash, like fried foods. And it's like, well, they don't use peanut oil. They don't use any of these other... They use like really nice... Once again, not getting into... I was told, hey, that's a big political conversation you want to get into. I'm just going to let you know, my whole body, after eating after a week, feels 1,000 times better. Now, as soon as I got back to America, where's your ice cream?
Yeah.
The ice cream is shit because it's the ice cream's too healthy.
I believe it. Yeah,
it's too healthy. Yeah,
not
too
enough
healthy.
cows down there.
Too healthy. Need to have a little bit.
So you don't need to talk like that. You can talk up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kirk,
I kept talking down here.
Did anybody tell you not to do that?
I didn't even know.
That's on the team.
No, yeah, that's bullshit. Because we can pull videos of you.
No, I was noticing when I was here, I couldn't really hear myself that well, so then I came down here.
Certainly louder when you're in it.
Yeah. But
you
you
would
can
understand.
hear me if I'm out here?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
you were
notice
doing
you
that
doing it
during
at
the
all.
show, yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a great job, by the way. I think you did a fantastic job.
These guys do everything. I just hanging out.
Getting Ryan Day on the show, that's crazy. I didn't know that fucking guy would come on this show.
Come
Very
on.
surprised.
We got some inside info from the two Ohio State lads.
Come on, dude.
Me, Ryan Day, we'll call it outs.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. Two ships passing in the night.
No, not even passing. No.
I
see his ship, I turn mine around and go the other way.
Ryan loves him.
Yeah, does he?
All you guys.
I don't know. He was on. I think he was on Ellen DeGeneres' show. It was canceled.
He definitely
Kelly
doesn't
Clarkson.
Help him out.
He went on everybody's show.
Ellen.
He was on Ellen. Ellen's show wasn't even around, and he tried to get on it after he won a national trophy.
I think anytime he knew he was offered to be on the show, he would come on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, but instead he said
he threw a curveball. His opening comment had a lot to do with that. He said if he knew he wanted him, he would come on.
Yeah. No, I understand. Not everybody needs to come on our show either. No, yeah. Listen, this is me. Understand? Hat in hand. You know.
I'm guessing somebody dropped the ball.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to potentially talk to you. You know that.
But what if it never got to him, and you're saying all these nasty things?
I'm not saying nasty things. I'm just letting.
Those are nasty things.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Those are all nasty things.
That I don't like him.
Yeah.
He's a national championship winner.
You love him.
I don't, but
You've had him on. I mean, you guys have gotten along great.
Those days are in the past. Those days are in the past. And I understand. We had Coach Lou.
He's not a big fan of me.
Coach Lou. I saw your question was a good one, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know.
And I think he responded well.
Yeah, I think so.
But I was thankful you got him on here so that we could have
I disagree. He
a
likes
national
you.
champion on the show. What an honor it is to have Coach Ryan Day on this show. That was so cool.
Well, you'll get to see him again Saturday.
Can't wait. I got a lot to say. You don't have to be thinking a lot. There's a lot of self-reflection when you're on the other side of the world and nobody that you know is awake. You know, sending a lot of texts to my wife, no response. What's she doing? It's 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
Hey, you know, how come nobody wants to talk? It's 2 a.m. Jesus, wake up. I'm in the middle of this. A lot of self-reflection. I'm allowed to not like people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm allowed to say that into here.
Yeah. But
You know,
don't like
normally
the people that
anything.
are nasty on the internet. That's where you should send your
I hate
your
those
anger.
people too. Yeah, I told a guy today that I didn't like him and to fuck himself. Yeah, I
See,
mean,
that's okay.
There's a
If
new
you-
me here.
If you're doing that to the...
And also, did you see this, Herbie?
Yeah, how about
I
that?
did.
Ooh, raw, baby. You know?
Yeah.
This might be the new me.
It's a good look.
I have a jawline for the first time.
This looks good.
Looks good. There's a little. It looks like there's a little scruff on it still too.
Well, that's because I was in a plane for the last 60 hours.
True. Yeah. Grew back.
I say you go with that look.
Clean shave when you took
I think
off.
I'm going to.
You should.
I think I'm actually going to. The Aussies are good people, dude. I'm telling you, every one of them, good personality.
Best. They have fun too, right? They seem like they all like to have fun and be outdoors.
Dude, good personality, good vibes, good attitudes. Like it was really cool. Hate weed. Very good people.
It's weird.
Also, we're strapping our seatbelts in the back seat or that thing's beeping at us.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Backseat beepers?
Backseat beepers.
That
wow.
sucks.
Streets clean, sidewalks incredibly clean. I saw next to no homeless people. I guess the crime
Dahn.
way down. I mean, it's like
How do you do that?
I to be honest, I have no idea how they've gotten to where they are right now, but it is awesome. I think it's all just no weed.
Yeah.
And strapping strapping a seatbelt in the back.
Yep.
And no preservatives in the food.
That could.
Everybody's happy. All
The preservatives in the food makes sense.
Brisbane's hosting
Great white sharks.
Yeah, I stayed away from the ocean. I looked at it, stayed away from it.
Great white shark.
And the reason why I was down there,
Big time.
the reason why I was down there, there's potentially some scenes in the great white shark's waters.
I'm telling you.
And there was a lot of chatter amongst the group about, is there a plan for,
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, you'd be fine.
How about that one surfer over there just punched one?
right in the nose.
Right in the nose.
That's what I was telling him. What are you guys crying
you
about?
like to
Just
do.
punch right in the nose. One
That's
Aussie
how they do it.
One Aussie guy was like, "No, you actually got to reach into the mouth, grab its tonsils."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, bite its tongue."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
It was awesome. It was a great experience. I was lucky to do it. Can't wait to get back chatting with you boys on a regular basis. Cannot wait to be back into football. Excited for Saturday.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun. You
And
guys,
you're going Monday over to see Belichick, right?
yeah, for the kickoff show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and congratulations. I guess not congratulations. Yeah, that's not the right word. The tribute to Corso was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
they
a
did
really
it.
that was
They
a
did a nice
really,
job.
really
It was
cool
awesome.
thing.
Yeah.
That was a really, really cool thing. I thought
Yeah.
that
Were you able to see some of it?
Yes, I was not the whole thing because
Yeah.
it was hard to find the entirety, but it was really cool to kind of watch just the amount of respect everybody had for him.
Yeah.
You know, like
and
everybody.
you guys are younger. You might remember, but in his heyday, he was kind of like Pat. Like he was for that era.
Hated
He
by
was
every college
hated.
football fan
He was hated by a lot of people
for being loud.
He said things that just not a lot of people said. I mean, he was a lightning rod.
A G.
Yes.
Yeah, Coach Corso is a G. He's always been good to me. He's always been very nice to me.
It's good.
And watching that tribute was sick. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be an emotional
I was
day.
going to say Saturday's going to
Nuts.
be it's going to be special.
That's going to be very emotional.
Especially like the ending.
Yeah.
The end of the program itself.
Yeah, he's gonna
in there.
We're inside the stadium there.
Well, Herbie, you're not an emotional guy, so you should be fine.
I am. I mean, I'm Dick Vermeil. I cry when I watch American Idol. I mean, I'm just
me
a
too.
sentimental guy.
Yeah, that's why I try
can't
not
help
to
it.
watch them. I try to stay away from things that I know.
Do you get emotional? I've seen you emotional on the set with me.
Yes.
When Jen Latta does a feature. And,
Yeah, I try to stay out of it. So like
Yeah.
when Jen does such a phenomenal job of telling her stories. Whenever she starts a story, I do try to distract myself. Like la 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 la.
I know, but you get pulled in because it's inevitably about a kid and
yes, and his dad and family, mom,
and having a daughter now. I mean, it hits you harder.
Yep.
Yeah, I cry my eyes out, and then it's like, all right, field goal kicks on the other side. It's like, yeah, that matters, bro.
Yeah.
So we just see what this is. But it's thank you for doing this. Very, very cool of you. I know it's a busy week, so thank you for traveling out here.
Man, are you
just like
kidding me?
Rap Sheet.
Thanks for. Yeah, he did it a couple times. Right?
Schrags was awesome. Yeah, it was. I'm very, very thankful for you guys doing this. AJ, thanks for making the trip over, and boys, way to crush it.
Appreciate you, dude. Good to have you back.
Yeah.
And on that
Welcome
note,
home.
I'm gonna smoke CBD here.
Yep.
Not weed.
Just a little.
No.
Just CBD, because that's all that's legal here in Indiana. And I believe this particular CBD trip I'm about to take is going to be like back in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
First time, long time, brother.
Sick.
First time, long time. But football season's here, boys. I'm thankful to be back.
We did
We
it.
made it.
All right.
We made it.
Yep.
Go ahead, Herbie.
This is the team on
Team on me, team on
three
three.
part
We were talking
All
about.
right, team on three.
No, say do a little bit of a speech here, like as if it's the call up of
some juice, Herbie.
Some juice.
End of a practice.
Okay.
End of a practice.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for this. Is a big surprise when I saw that door opening. I didn't know what was going on over there.
I don't think anybody knew. About 2 hours ahead of time. I wasn't supposed to be back this early. Shout out to my pilot.
Yeah, geez. Well, we pedal to the metal. TC flight.
Yeah, one up there and did a little. Hey, can we push
that thing down?
Push it a little
And he
bit.
did. Shout out to Cap.
Shout out to Cap.
Shout out to you.
your trip.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody who did it while you were gone.
Yeah. Shout out to Peterberg.
Yeah.
Shout out Peterberg.
Yeah.
Fucking beast.
Yeah. Wait till you see. You guys probably seen some of the shots. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Couple pictures.
I will say I think I did do good. We'll talk about that more though.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk about that more.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. 1, 2, 3.
No. Come on. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life.
Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. Might change their life.
Team on me.
Team on me.
Team on 3.
Team on 3.
You can do the rest.
1, 2, 3.
Team. Goodbye.